Welcome to Laughlin, Nevada. We're about 90 miles south of Las Vegas on the far southern tip of Nevada, right alongside the Colorado River. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ken Stout. And why are we in this fun little desert gaming town? Well, because the big dogs of the Legacy Racing Association have brought out the big toys to go racing, and that makes Laughlin the battleground. It's round 2 for the Legacy Racing Association, and we'll focus in on the unlimited trucks located right here behind me today. Some of the most sophisticated trucks on the planet. Are they fast? Absolutely. Engines producing in excess of 1,000 horsepower. But the truly amazing part is their ability to navigate through some of motorsport's toughest terrain and do it at speed. Speaking of speed, they'll be approaching speeds of 130 miles per hour out here on this course as the teams navigate 6 full laps of the 15-mile course. They'll also be equipped with Starstream Pro. That's right, it's a great system that's going to allow us to take you right inside of the truck, show you what it's like inside of the cockpit as they navigate that very tough terrain. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Formula One cars of the desert, the absolute best trucks money can buy. It's time to throw down in the desert. Welcome to Laughlin. Welcome to the battleground.
All right, welcome everybody. We are here on a beautiful, warm, windy afternoon in Laughlin, Nevada. We are here for the VT Construction Legacy Off-Road Association Battleground Race. My name is Austin Fish Farner, and I am joined today in the booth by 2 awesome people. We got Tanner Faust here, and we got Robert Campbell. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you today, sir?
Yeah,
Good.
man, it's great to be here. You know, last time I was here was back in 2003. One of the first races I ever did was the Ramada Express Rally, literally right up the street from here. And I saw off-road racing going on out here, and it was a huge race back then, but, I mean, it is absolutely epic now. So many cool names racing today.
Yeah, it is awesome. You know, you see people coming into town just driving down the road here, and then they look over at the side. They're like, what's going on over there? We see some dust over there. And then they see some race cars going around. Maybe they want to come watch for a little bit. So if you guys are out here, feel free. Come over here. Check out the Optima stage here. We got a big Jumbotron, and it's going to be pretty exciting today. This is a two-day format out here. So what that means is they take your times from day 1, and then you go again tomorrow on day 2, and they combine them. Now, Robert, what do you think? We're going to have, how many laps are we doing today? We're doing 5 or 6 laps today in this
6
class.
laps today, about 14.5-mile laps, give or take. It depends if you're going through the Joker lane or not, which is also a pretty neat feature this race has this year.
Yeah, you know a little bit about the Joker lanes, right?
Yeah,
Tanner?
Joker lanes came from rallycross racing, and it's an opportunity to get out of dust, maybe achieve a pass, but in the 6 laps, one of the laps you have to take a Joker lap, which is 30 seconds longer. So the fact that it's longer means you have to be able to see behind you to make sure you don't go 30 seconds leapfrog behind somebody in their dust, which is a big challenge. But yeah, so I think there's a variety of strategies on how to use the Joker lap, but it's a very cool format.
Yeah, I was walking around the pits and I asked a couple of people, you know, what do you think your strategy is going to be? And most of the people, I think, like you said, they're going to have a spotter coming in, and the first lap that they come in that there's not someone right behind them, they're going to go for it, right? And if it has to wait till the last lap, then they're going to have to do it. Someone forgets to take it, that could be a big penalty.
Yeah, that sounds terrible that you forget to do it. I've done it many times. It's super easy to forget to take the Joker. Also, they're not allowed to have communication with a helicopter, so they have potential spotters on the side of the track, like you said, but those spotters can be minutes away from where the actual Joker lap is, so the information they're getting on how far back the competitor is can be old, so it's a risk. Taking the Joker early, I think, is a big risk. I think it should be held on later. If you got clean laps, keep running, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. If it was me, I would wait until the end, or if there was no one behind me at all.
So at the driver's meeting, it is a 15-minute penalty if you miss it.
All right, there you go. So 15 minutes if you
detrimental.
don't take it. That's the end of your race pretty much out here.
Might as well not show up Sunday.
Yeah. So if you guys want to follow along, head over to the App Store and download the Racing Redefined app. So go to the App Store, download that. You'll be able to watch on the live tracker. We will have tracking up there. We'll have split times every 2 miles just about. And it's going to be pretty awesome. You know, Optima is doing this, and big thanks to Method Race Wheels. This live stream today is brought to you by them, and we're just a little ways away from some racing action.
It's one of the things as a spectator seems like been missing in off-road is this live timing, being able to have real-time, effective, visually interesting timing going on. In this app, you literally see a 3D version of the track in a satellite image. You can see where the elevation changes, see exactly where the cars are, and see a time-adjusted results live. It's awesome.
All right, and I think we actually have Dodge Pullman down on the starting line. So let's throw it down to Dodge and hear what some of these drivers are thinking right before they start the race. So go ahead, Dodge.
We have like 3 minutes. Some people are actually still, showing up. You got this black and gold. I actually love this truck that's coming in. We're going to let them get all situated. I got a couple trucks behind me I want to talk to you about. Let's go back here. The side of this guy's truck says Miller Time, right? Is that because your last name is Miller? It is. Is that right? So what does Miller Time mean to you?
All good times and having fun.
Heck yeah. What kind of truck are you racing with us today?
We're in a new 1.9. It's actually a spec truck, but we went with live valve, and there's a little bit of contention with the organization not allowing live valve in the spec truck, so they're forcing me to run unlimited truck on this race, and hopefully later in the season they'll maybe have a rule change and allow. They're the only organization that doesn't allow live valve in spec truck right now, so I wanted to run the truck. I've brought out my Class 10 and my 1 car. My son's running the 1 car and the 10 car earlier today, and so yeah, new truck for me. It's only a couple races into it still learning the whole truck thing from the buggies, but having fun with it, and yeah, hopefully we can just get a solid finish today.
Well, that's awesome. That live valve suspension is next level. I've seen it work, and it's absolutely incredible. This is Miller Time. Are you starting next to this guy?
Yes, I am.
You are. Well, let's go talk some trash with this guy over here. Tell me your first name.
First name is John. First name's John.
John.
Koth.
Are you Koth?
Yep.
So who's the other guy on?
Larry Trim. He's the driver of record and the owner of the vehicle.
Gotcha. What kind of truck are you racing with us here today? This is beautiful.
This is a mid-engine Johnny Kaiser built truck back in the late 90s.
Oh man, some of these trucks run for way longer than you think, and they're competitive even today. I love what you guys got going on over here. Grip lock ties. Tell us a little bit about that before we move on.
Grip lock zip ties are actually a zip tie that was designed for aviation, and it has a little gel bead on it, so that way when you zip tie your wires to your chassis, you don't have to worry about chafing and slipping around as this common zip tie will do. And we partnered up with them a few years back, and they're still on, and thankfully they're a great partner for our team.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's good catching up with you. Good luck out there. Watch out for Miller Time. I know that he's coming for you. Now, this next team right here, you can see their scheme is black and white. These guys are from Arizona. They're dairy farmers. Who do I got in the driver's seat today?
You're talking to Drew Wentz.
Drew, I caught up with these guys the other day, and I talked to a guy named John. This is a father-son racing team, is it not?
It's actually all volunteers. We're all a bunch of buddies.
Oh, that is the best thing to do in the desert. Tell me, you're starting today, and you racing the whole thing?
Yeah, I'll do all day today and all day tomorrow. Zach, he's going to do today, and then actually my uncle will do co-driving tomorrow.
Oh, that's absolutely phenomenal. You guys built this truck yourselves, right? So this is a homemade truck built on a dairy farm, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope. No, I'm a wood framing contractor out of Tucson, Arizona. So I'm a framer. But yeah, we build everything. I mean, the motors, transmissions, rear ends. I painted the door and did fiberglass last weekend to get this thing ready. I mean, we do everything.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, it's good looking. Do you know who you're starting next to? And you feel like you're going to get them off the line?
Yeah, we're with Kit, and we're going to give it all we got.
All right, well, we're gonna stay tuned for that one on the live stream. We're going to move on. Good luck today. Have fun out there. You can see people are still just arriving left and right. The buggies are in place. We're going to run all the way up to the front here and talk to our leaders. So the guys up front, way out front is Jack Olegas. And for those of you guys who have followed racing a long time, the Olegas name should ring true. This is a father-son racing team, or racing organization, I should say. that's built around longtime family racing. I personally race with my dad, and it's real special to have that kind of relationship with who you're racing with. We got a group of guys standing over here. Let's go give him a chat. Hey, Christopher. We got a microphone ready for you. And I'm looking for Jack Olegas, too, if anyone can see him. Christopher and I, we're good buddies, and we've been having this argument of who wore the hat first and who wore it better. You guys can fight about that later, but tell me about your truck that you're racing.
Oh, yeah, we got my 1,000 horsepower Ford Raptor Unlimited truck out here. Gonna go have a little bit of fun, but it's pretty obvious I wore it better. I'm gonna just put that out here.
Well, we're going to put that one to bed right away. I know that you're starting next to Houston over here, who also has a four-wheel drive truck. You think you can get him off the line?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident in that Ford power. This thing's pretty fun, and this Ford Raptor never disappoints to put on a good time.
Well, I'll tell you what, I personally drive a Ford, and it's my favorite vehicle I own. You guys got some sponsors on here. I see you got Optima Toyo Tires. Do you want to shout 2 or 3 of them out?
Yeah, we got this Optima batteries, Toyo tires, Method race wheel, Ford Raptor that's ready to go have some fun, Laughlin. It's toasty, and we got 6 laps, and it's dusty.
Yeah. You have any strategy and thoughts about the Joker lap? We haven't seen this a whole lot in the off-road racing, especially in Mexico where we do a lot. And tell me your strategy there.
I think you can use it to your advantage a ton, but you got to be safe. Be smart. Make sure you got enough room because it's going to be longer. So if you take it, you don't want to get past in there. You're going to really regret it then, especially what I said. There's so much dust. So yeah, I think I'm still haven't decided. I'm just going to be a game day decision when we go in or out. And then luckily it's only one time. Sometimes it gets a little complicated. If you have to take it 2-3 times, you really start freaking yourself out. But yeah, that one time, we'll see. I got a little bit of strategy, but I can't tell you guys too much on it.
Well, it sounds like it's a pretty big secret. We're going to go find Jack. Have you seen where he's at? Oh, he's walking towards the back. Well, we're not even going to go find him. We're going to go. Will you go tell him that I'm looking for him? We're going to chat up Rob McCachran here. Mr. Rob in the Fox Racing. He's racing with Kevin McGilvery. Rob, you got a second? I'll get you on camera?
Yeah, for sure.
We know it's a side-by-side start. It's not something we do in all of the truck racing. You think you're going to get the guy next to you off the line?
I sure hope so. That's the plan. It's always the plan, and that's what we're all supposed to say. But, yeah, Connor, running a buggies, got a little bit of a weight advantage on us. It'll be interesting for sure. I mean, I know we're both going to go for it. He's definitely a favorite. I'm sure he's won here plenty of times. Got Jack Olegas out front, and yeah, I raced earlier today, and it's super dusty out there, so it's very key to try to get out front, because if you don't, you're not gonna. There's so few parts of the track that you can actually see to get up on someone. So we're gonna give it all we got because we need to get out in front of him and try to, close the gap on Jack.
So you raced earlier today, I assume in another class. I know you're racing with Kevin McGilvery. We caught up with him earlier. He told us that you spent a lot of time in this truck testing. I know this isn't your truck, but you feel comfortable in this truck.
Yeah, we've been we raced Parker together. We ended up second there, and then we've probably got 3 or 4 test sessions that we've done, doing a lot of testing with Fox Shocks and Wayne at Alltech, and obviously we're tuning. I'm very kind of at times picky on trucks, so. Kevin has allowed myself and all the guys at ID Designs to, play with it and try to, get the thing faster. So we keep making improvements as we've gone. And again, this is a different race. It's kind of a sprint race. And we weren't even going to come here in this truck. We were just going to bring the 6100 here and run for points. But this truck was supposed to be getting prepped for the Baja Nevada race. So we were testing Monday, and Kevin pulled the trigger and said, hey, it's still together. Let's run it. So it's probably a testament to ID Designs and how well they prep the truck and put it together. It's been running strong.
Well, I know the guy in front of you. It's Jack, right? I mean, you and I have both raced against Steve. Yeah. We're seeing his son Jack out here on the block. You think he's going to run a good race? You think you'll get by him at some point? And what's your strategy with this Joker lap? I personally haven't seen a lot of that out here in off-road racing. So what are your thoughts on that Joker specifically?
Yeah, well, 2 things. Jack, I've known his dad forever, before Jack was even born and being a little kid. And, what an awesome, family. And Jack's just such a professional human being. He's super polite and all that. So I wish him nothing but the best. Joker Lane is it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think in an off-road race I've ever participated in one. So it's definitely pretty cool to, throw in and, give us a little bit of a, throws for a loop, I guess. And I've been watching the races earlier, and I think it takes about 15 seconds to do the Joker lap. So strategy plays in, and if you can't get somebody, you might want to dip in, go take Joker lane, and get a gap and try to catch back up to them. And then if they dive in, maybe you can get by them. But it's definitely cool, and everything that Legacy's doing, to keep us interested and keep us excited is definitely cool.
Yeah, well, hey, good luck out there. I'm going to shake your hand. We're going to show you guys Jack's truck as we sign off here. We're going to throw it back up to the booth. But thank you guys for joining us here at the starting line. Can't wait for the light to go green.
All right. Well, thank you, Dodge. That's a look at some of our top competitors that were out there with qualifying. What do you think with Jack up there, huh? Qualifying number 1.
Jack, qualifying number 1 in a 2-wheel drive, is going to be getting hunted down.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite part about it, is knowing that he did that in a 2-wheel drive truck.
Yeah, it's going to be cool to see. What do you think, Tanner? Can he hold him off on the 2-wheel drive, or is the all-wheel drive going to catch up to him and eat him up?
Yeah, I think the all-wheel drive is going to have a big advantage. By the time they get to mile 9 to 12, where the long straightaways are, basically everything in the first 9 miles is going to be all about 4-wheel drive. So, yeah, I mean, Pulvardi's going to be chasing down. I mean, all those 4-wheel drive trucks are going to be working hard for sure, and I think it's going to, it's going to be tight at the end.
Yeah. Well, let's look and see what an unlimited truck actually is. I think we have a clip where we can show a close look at Christopher Pulvardi's. What is an unlimited truck?
All right, so you're wondering, what is an unlimited truck? Well, behind me is a great example. Under the hood, you have 1,000 horsepower. On the ground, you got 40-inch tires weighing 140 pounds each. 30 inches of suspension travel. These things go 150 miles an hour in the desert, can jump them hundreds of feet, go over whoops as tall as my chest at over 100 miles an hour. Overall, these are incredible machines, and you guys can see that here today as they conquer the Laughlin Desert.
All right, well, there we go. That's a look at what an unlimited truck is. Now, these trucks are costing over $1 million now, so it's a pretty penny you have to spend for one of these trucks.
A pretty penny. That's the what you use to describe $1 million truck you can only use in somebody's closed desert?
Yeah. I mean, how many pennies is that?
It's lots of pennies.
Lots of pennies.
Not $1 billion, but it's.
What do you think weighs?
It's 100 million.
What weighs more, that amount of pennies or the weight of these trucks?
That's not funny. We got serious business to do here. I mean,
we do.
$1 million under your right foot, and the fact that it's 6 laps. It's something you can memorize. It's not the first time seeing 1,000 turns once. You get to see these turns over and over again, and by the second lap, you know exactly where the ruts are, exactly how much speed you can carry. By the third, fourth, fifth, sixth lap, I mean, you're going as close to 100% pace in that $1 million truck as you probably do all year.
Yeah.
So it's, I think it's awesome, and it's awe-inspiring, these machines. I mean,
yeah,
it's incredible.
It was pretty awesome. And, before you get to come out here today, you do have to go through tech and contingency. They have to do a safety check on the truck, make sure you have all your safety gear, make sure everything's in compliance. And that was actually on Friday. And I think I'll have a look at what happened over at tech and contingency on Friday.
Maybe.
Okay, we will take a look at that in just a minute.
Nobody passed tech, and that's the great thing about a race like this. It's just lawless.
Yeah, exactly. We just got rid of tech. We threw it out the window. All good with tech and contingency. No, these guys are all seasoned veterans that are out here. They do a lot of racing throughout the year. So tech and contingency is kind of, it's more of just, make sure everyone's still up to speed. If there is something new, they will check it out. But there is chassis that get checked. You have to have certain size tubing depending on the weight that there is and some things like that. But, rarely with the unlimited trucks is there much of an issue.
And I mean, there's a lot of off-roading around the world. I mean, how much parity is there from one series to the next on those specifics of the rules? Like you said, just even the The diameter of the roll bars.
Well, the unlimited truck is pretty much just that. It's unlimited truck. You know, anything goes. Bring out whatever you want and do what you want. Some of the other series do split the unlimited trucks between the all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and two-wheel drives. That recently just happened in another big series. But that's kind of it. You know, out here, everything goes together. You all go together. And I think this is a look at our course map right here. So we can see. You want to talk us through the course a little bit there, Robert? You know this course.
Yep, so I actually just raced it very recently, so pretty well versed in it.
Perfect. Let's hear about it.
So here off the start, about mile marker 1.5 is some really tight bull turns.
Okay.
So they're going to do the side-by-side start, except for our pole position, who gets to start by himself. Everybody else starts 2 at a time every 30 seconds.
Yep.
So about mile 2, give or take, there's some real tight bull turns, which there's usually some pretty good action. People getting up on 2 wheels, getting all kinds of squirrely. And then we go out into what we call the Bureau of Reclamation land out there, which is where you can see the little crop circle looking things. That's all real fast. There's some big square edges that have developed in there from the years. I saw they did do quite a bit of track work this week to kind of at least make day 1 a little more tolerable. But as they come out there around mile 3.5, 4, that's a wide open straightaway into a 90 left, where they go up past the Laughlin High School and up towards our road crossing 1, which is about mile 5.5.
And that's the big road crossing with the jump, right? Yeah. That's the one we always see
That's the famous
over.
one of the video with Grabowski on
Jurgensen,
like hanging on his bumper over it. And, yeah, so
we might see some of that today because we got side-by-side search every 30 seconds. We're gonna,
Yep.
we're hoping to see some action there today.
And then, so mile 6, we kind of go down into what they call the Fox Proving Grounds, and then you go through the Fox Proving Grounds, big 3-4 foot holes. Mile 7, you make that hard 180 and go back in and drop into a big. It's kind of like a water retention basin.
Yep. Down in the quarry, basically.
Yep, kind of. And then up through mile 8 is just kind of power lines, some big whoops, a little bit of good bull turns. Up through mile 9, mile 10, more fast stuff, couple random big holes. And then that long straightaway back down. Mile 11 is road crossing 2. It's not as spectacular as road crossing 1 just because there's not as big of a lip. They kind of drop off of it, but they're going, I bet you Chris will be doing 120, 130 off of that bad boy.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Into mile 12, another good 90. And then work your way along the ridgeline into mile 13 and drop down into hot pits.
And there is one hot pit right there, so there's one opportunity. We don't expect anybody to be pitting. Obviously, this race is very short. Everyone can make it all the way on fuel. Only time you'll see someone come in there is if they have an issue or a flat tire, basically.
Yep.
So, all right.
Should be no pits being used this race unless you have an emergency.
Yeah, and then at the end of the lap is the Joker lap that we mentioned where you have to take it one time. All right, and I think we have our tech and contingency thing ready. So let's take a look on Friday again and see what all the action was on Friday.
F350. Raptor.
TRX.
Raptor.
F250 Ford diesel.
Caterpillar tractor.
F350 Ford pickup truck.
GMC. Raptor R.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Rob McCachran. We're here at the 2025 Laughlin Legacy Race. I'll be racing the number 56 Unlimited truck.
My name's Kevin McGillivray. I own and drive for this race the 56 ID Designs for Unlimited truck.
My name is Kit Stokes. I'm driver of the number 47 Unlimited truck in the Legacy series.
Burritos, tacos, chicken tacos.
Tacos.
Burritos.
Taco.
Tacos.
Taco.
I'm Stephanie Stokes, the co-driver of the Unlimited number 47.
I'm Christopher Pavorti, driver of the number 94 Ford Raptor Optimum Batteries Unlimited truck.
Mike Kim.
What's up, you guys? I'm here in Laughlin, Nevada, outside the Tropicana Hotel. We got the trucks pulling up for safety and contingency. Now, for them, it's a very serious day. For me, it's Casual Friday. I'm wearing my jorts, hanging out with my favorite people, checking out my favorite vehicles. Now, what we do here today is we make sure that these guys are safe, make sure their vehicles are safe, make sure that their suits, their helmets, their neck restraints are up to par, and we're here to give you guys an inside look. Behind me, I have the number 65 truck, Greg Adler, who's going through a safety inspection. Now, racing is all fun and games, it's excitement, it's thrills, but when it comes to safety, we take things very seriously. We have a whole crew of people behind us going through the truck tip to tail to make sure it's up to par for race day. For this race, we're debuting a brand new tracking app. You can get it on the Google Play Store or the App Store. The app is called Racing Redefined. We're standing here in the middle of Contingency Lane where you can see we are lined side to side with sponsors. Now, this is where everybody comes out to check out the new swag, the new material, and the new parts that are on the market. We got tires everywhere. You look down here, you have PCI radios, Fox shocks. These are the premier brands in off-road racing. Trust me, later today, this place is going to be packed as more of the cars and fans arrive. I'm Dodge Pullman. Thank you guys for tuning in. That is a wrap at Tech and Contingency. The cars are checked, the cars are safe, and now it's time to race.
All right, well, there we go. That was a look at Tech and Contingency there. Thank you, Dodge, and everybody for bringing us that. We are just about 5 minutes away from the start. So in just about 5 minutes, we're going to see some dust start coming off of the start line. Looking over the entry list, you know, like we said, Jack Olagus, he qualified in that #1 spot. That's a pretty impressive job put down there by the young guy. Behind him, we have Connor McMullen is second in the 1500 class, and then we have Kevin McGilvray is third. We got Christopher Polvardi and Eric Husted. This is going to be an awesome team to watch off the start line because these are both all-wheel drive trucks. So we're going to get to see a Mason all-wheel drive truck versus kind of a home-built all-wheel drive truck, right, Robert?
Yeah, it's kind of a mixture that they started out with an older unlimited truck chassis, and they decided they wanted to go all-wheel drive and kind of cut the front off. Worked with, I believe it was Igor at Triton. Came up with the all-wheel drive front end setup on it. It is a mid-engine truck, so it's actually really similar to Polvardi's truck.
Yeah, definitely.
Just kind of built out of their hangar out there in St. George, Utah.
Perfect. Now, Tanner, talk about the differences between, you know, all-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. How much of a difference is that?
I mean, in rally racing and things that I race, it's everything. I think the deeper the ruts and the more terrain limited you are, it becomes less of an issue. But any tight corners, any acceleration, it's a game changer. Any rally type roads where you're literally just looking for grip on the contact patches of these tires, it's everything. Once you see in the final laps, the ruts get deeper and deeper. You'll notice the time's getting closer though between the 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. But I mean, looking down, I mean, technically qualifying third in class is Christopher Polvardi, who had a problem in qualifying. And he missed the start, essentially, of his qualifying session. So he may be a bit quicker than he's showing there, which is going to he's really going to have those first 9 miles to make up the time with that 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking at the times of the qualifying here, there was 4:24. The first 3 spots were 4:24. And, I mean, all the same. And then it was 2 seconds back to Christopher. So I expect this race to be very close the whole way today, especially with some of these top guys here. This is going to quite possibly come down to literally a second or two in the race itself as well. So it's going to be awesome to see.
So it is on corrected time. So somebody could come from the back and win.
Yep.
Or somebody on the very front row could lose it. If Chris can run down Jack and finish right behind him, he's still going to win on time.
Yeah, exactly. So we always got to keep that in mind when we're showing you guys the split times today. And if you're looking on the Racing Redefined app, when you go through and look at the different times, sometimes you actually want to go back a mile or two and check the times there because not everybody comes through each race mile at the same time. So if you have a couple people through race mile 10 and it's only showing you like 2 or 3 trucks, go back to 6 or 8. Go back to 6 or 8, and then you can actually see like some of the guys that came from the farther back, they might actually be winning. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that.
So we will see different types of vehicles starting together, even though they're technically not racing against each other, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, the way they do it is they mix the qualifying results. So if a buggy in the Class 1500 finishes second in qualifying, as it did here, he's going to be starting second. So he's going to start next to a truck. So that's always fun to watch, too. Watch a truck versus a buggy. Watch them through the infield because they're both totally different characteristics on how they act. You know, the weight in a buggy, you have the engine and transmission, everything is behind you. And in most of the trucks, it's in front of you. However, Christopher Polvardi's and some of the other ones, mid-engine truck. So it, you know, handles differently in the infield, turns differently. You got the weight there. So it's always fun to see. Now, you know, the Class 1500 cars, they go pretty good. So they're going to give the trucks a little bit of a run for their money today.
Yeah, so while there is a bragging rights for an overall winner,
Yes.
really there's 2 separate classes running.
Correct. They're both racing for points in their own class. They don't race against each other. There is the overall that everybody kind of wants to. That's a big one. But yeah, you are racing different. And there you go. I think you just saw him give him either the 30 seconds or the 1 minute. So within about a minute here, we are going to be seeing some racing action. This looks like it is Jack Olagus here because he's going to be off first.
Now, is this the advantage of qualifying number 1? You get to take the first couple corners alone?
Yeah.
Yep. So he starts by himself, and the next row is 30 seconds behind him.
Okay. Which is not a big dust window. It is windy today.
It is. Yeah, the
Which
wind
they're
actually
all
picked
happy
up.
for, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the wind is definitely something you want. Now, Jack didn't want it to be windy today. I will say
he did
that.
not.
Yeah, Jack was hoping for 0 wind right now. But this is going to be fun to watch, and this is awesome. All these in-car cameras, brought to you by Starstream today. It's really changed the game, and it's really awesome to be able to sit in the car with these guys live as they go off the start line.
I know it's been a huge amount of work taking advantage of some of the tech that's out there with Starlink. Having an app where you literally can just click through and look inside the vehicle on any one of these trucks.
And there we go. He is off the line. So Jack Olagus headed out on course. First car on course.
You'll see the difference in the all-wheel drive versus two-wheel drive, especially in this infield.
Definitely off the start is where you see it for sure.
Steering a lot more with the back.
Now, if you guys are looking at the screen and you're wondering what all the stuff on the dash, on the right, the number 2, that's the gear he's in. So that's your Motec display or whatever display you're using over there. Then on the far right, that's your GPS. So that's what your co-driver is on. Your co-driver's over there. Watch that GPS. Tell you what's coming. And there we go.
Off the line next, we had Connor McMullen. And
So this is Rob McCachran driving,
McCachran.
correct?
Yes, it is. And man, he
So Rob
Back on board
actually
with Jack.
was a teammate of mine momentarily. I've been a big fan of his for a really long time. And it's just awesome to see such a legend out here hashing it up.
There he
Speaking
is.
of him, there he is. He just got the jump on McMullen.
Yeah, it did look like Rob pulled McMullen go down to the infield.
And that is Eric Hustad and Christopher Polvorde off the line. Ooh. That is a good battle of the 2 all-wheel drives.
Yeah, it looks like Husted actually got in front of him there, it looked like. We'll
Hustad
see
was
how that
able to
plays
sneak
out.
him out.
Looked like there was contact actually in that
Yes,
fourth
it
corner.
did.
Contact. That is part of off-road racing. It is totally legal to nerf each other out here. You just have to do it kind of nicely.
Does that vary from series to series and race to race?
All the Unlimiteds are allowed to hit each other, really. Yeah, you don't want to hit, a Class 11 car with a faster car or something like that, but everyone else is pretty much allowed to do it everywhere. It's part of the fun.
So we're back on board with Rob Mack
Nope.
as he's starting his attack on this course.
Here we go.
Overhead with Sean Gilbert and Scott Shavoshka. I'd never know how to say his last name properly.
I think you got it pretty close.
I try. It's just SS Racing. That's what I like to call them.
There we go.
Up next, it looks like we got 2 of our buggy entries of Sean Kroll and Dane Miller getting off the line right now.
Yes, they're headed out on course. You can see we got a couple helicopters out here today. We got some drone footage. We got everything coming at you guys, so this should be awesome. And if you haven't downloaded it yet, go download the Racing Redefined app from the App Store so you can follow along with everything you're seeing on your screen today, including live timing once the trucks get off the line.
Looks like we are on board with Rob McCachran again. As Steve Olagus, which is Jack's dad, gets off the line next to Brandon Dawson.
So I'm assuming this is Jack's father. I
Yes,
couldn't
yes,
hear you
yes,
if you
it
said
is.
that. Yeah. So my understanding is he was about 18 seconds slower than his son. One for every year his son's been alive.
Yeah, right? You think they were bragging about that?
That's a good one. I like that.
hurts,
That
honestly.
hurts, right? Yeah.
We watch Corey Kaiser and Greg Adler get off the starting line here.
And we see some time starting to come in, so we have Jack Olagus and a couple through. So the live timing on the left there should update at some point here. All right, so we're continuing to start here. We're going to have a number, let's see, who do we have total here? I think we have 21 or 22 cars off the line today.
As Nick May and Sterling Miller get off the line here. Nick is Vegas-based, and Sterling is out of Ackerley, Texas. In the Silver Spur Racing Brenthel truck. Getting the jump on the buggy out of the hole there. Nick May has Nick Almeida actually riding with him this weekend. As we're watching Kit Stokes.
Yeah, Kit
and
Stokes had
Drew
off the line.
Wentz.
Now, Kit's truck there, that's actually a pretty old truck, too. That used to be Alan Pfluger's truck originally. That is a Porter Race Cars built truck from back in the day. It used to be the number 28 when Alan Pfluger had it. It's won some Laughlin, or it's won some races, not Laughlin, but it's been around this Laughlin course quite a few times.
Yeah, he has a lot of miles around this course. It's also another rear-engine V-drive truck. So I think he'll have some good corner speed for everybody this weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
He broke a sway bar in qualifying, so that's why he ended up starting so far back. We are on board with, popped away. We watch Larry Trim and Dustin Miller start. Now, Larry is in a full unlimited truck, while Dustin is in a spec truck. See, didn't like that specific marker for some reason.
No, now it's gone. And it's getting really windy out here right now. As soon as the race started, oh boy, we got a tornado coming through here right now.
Wind is picking up.
Hold on, everybody. Uh-oh. Oh, that is not ideal. Okay.
All righty.
So a couple insurance claims in the pits, unfortunately. We call in the adjuster. So it looked like Jack crossed the first jump, the first road jump with a time of 4:34 and an average speed of 87 miles an hour, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the live timing is every time somebody crosses that point, we'll get an exact time and average speed on that truck.
Yeah, so far we have through mile 2 on here. I'm waiting for more to come through mile 4 and then populate, and hopefully we'll get some more in there.
As we are watching an I-beam unlimited truck about to start, the number 9. He is one of our late entries, so he's not even on the qual. Ooh.
That was a good launch over the
That was
road crossing.
Husted, so where's Polvorde?
He should be right there.
There
Oh,
he was. Missed him.
So Polvardi's still sitting in the dust, unfortunately. And especially now that he's getting out to that mile 9, 10, 11, a high speed, there's a lot of time to be lost there. And he really needs to get the job done in the tight corners with that all-wheel drive.
I think that's our last car off the line right there.
That is. So he barely made it. I think he late teched this morning for the race. They were building trailing arms for that thing like yesterday. So we're watching, this is Sean Gilbert with VT Construction, the title sponsor for this weekend's race, the Battlegrounds.
There we go. Oh, there's a good look.
As
Paul's
he
right
sent
there.
it huge. He is not afraid to go big.
So 130 miles an hour topped out, just over 130 miles an hour on that back straightaway there. And you can see the dust, even with this wind, still does linger, making a disadvantage for the following truck.
Which, as long as you're more than 50 feet back, you should be good. So we're watching Eric Husted going along the top of the retention basin. Getting ready to make the hard 180 right and drop it down into the retention basin. Now, there's some big holes that develop down here.
Now, this you were saying was the Fox Proving Ground
So
area?
they just came out of the Fox Proving Grounds and made the left heading out. Obviously, we're on a different shot
It's a great
now.
view from the helicopters.
Yes, it is.
The elevation change that goes on through that 180.
Now, something I was going to touch on is in that retention basin, as it digs out, rebar and big blocks and concrete blocks come out, and we start developing flat tires, which you would not think at a short course race like this. But we end up getting flat tires on Sunday a lot of times.
Is that something that you do during your scout or
You
your
can't see 'em.
sighting lap?
They're buried underneath the dirt when you do your scouting lap. They come out mid-race. And different competitors will blow a turn and drag them into the main line, and next
Okay.
thing you know, you're double flattened.
Here's some more look from our Starstream systems. Live look and some in-car here.
Looks like Drew Wentz, right?
See our board is covered on the bottom on our screen.
Gosh, the track is so rough. Even though this is day 1, lap 1, it is staggering how much of a challenge this track is to these trucks. Now, I mean, as we found out when we learned kind of what an unlimited truck was about, they have some 36 inches of travel, right? I mean, over a meter of travel. And still, drivers are working incredibly hard to get through this terrain.
Yeah, you have quite a bit of suspension, but it gets used up pretty quick, especially at this race, because you have to drive 120% this race. There is no, just, oh, we take it easy, we'll get them later. You have to go from the very beginning, because if you don't, somebody else is, and they're going to be the one that beats you. This is Sterling Miller right here that we were riding along with and being told.
Is in the black and gold Brenthel truck out there. Silver Spur Racing. We watched Kit Stokes. Now, his wife was supposed to ride with him today,
Yep.
But because he started a little bit farther back in the pack, he opted to have one of his other guys jump in that's a little bit more GPS experienced. So if they ended up in a lot of dust, they would be able to call the turns and the feet coming up a little bit better than potentially Steph might have. But she's also pretty damn good at her job. I think she was just a little worried starting in the back, pushing through the dust.
Yeah, I'm looking at the tracking map, and if you guys have the app, once again, it's the Racing Redefined. You can actually look at the tracker, and you can see where everybody is live, and they're moving around. And the 56
Ooh,
is up
somebody
there
stopped right there. Oh, no, that was a chase truck. Checkpoint.
Yeah, on the live map, you can really see Greg Adler making a move, passing 2 trucks approaching the hairpin. So that would have been through the rough section. He's passing both Corey Kesar and Steve. So is it Olgus?
Yeah, Olgus.
Olgus.
Yeah. So Greg Adler really on the move here.
Yep. Nice shot from the helicopter.
The Optima truck is always easy to find because it's got a big logo right on the side. Real easy for us to do our job.
What I like is it's got 2 Starlinks on the roof. It's hard to miss that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's been a game changer for off-road. That's how we're able to show you guys most of these images today, is using the Starlinks throughout the course.
So looking at the track map, you can see that in the Optima truck there, Chris Polvardi is still sitting behind
Eric.
Yeah, sitting behind Eric. So the question is, well, first of all, where is the Joker lap on the lap? What mile
It's
marker
right
is
in.
it?
It's here at the start finish, so it's right around the end, probably around mile 14 and a half, something like that. It's right there, and it's real short, so it's just a little extra thing that you do on the infield.
That's about 30 seconds. And I do believe if you cross the finish line without doing it on your last lap, you cannot do it. So you have to do it starting your last lap, otherwise you take that 15-minute penalty. Because it's right on the way as you're taking the right hand heading back out to start your lap just after the finish line.
Okay, Polvardi just completely gaining on Eric around the fast straightaway and the crossing number 2. He is literally right on his bumper going from mile 11 to 12. So he's essentially going to have to do whatever Eric doesn't do at the Joker lap. If Eric takes the Joker lap, then he needs to continue straight and get some clean lap time. But if Eric goes straight, then he needs to take the Joker lap and get into some fresh air.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense, and that's coming into play. Like we talked about earlier, we're going to have one of your crews going to be spotting out there for you to let you know what they think you should do. And I'm starting to hear trucks come back into the infield, so I think we're getting close to having some come back in here.
Yep. Looks like Jack Olagus might be completing his first lap, getting ready to head out on his second.
Let's see, is this back with Jack? Not yet.
This is clear back at the farthest northwest corner of the track. Getting ready to head back down in. This is about race mile, give or take 10 and a half.
So at race mile 12, it was Jack Olagus is showing out front. And let's see, in second we have Rob Mack. He is 22 seconds behind. And then Eric Husted was 46 seconds behind. And Christopher Polvardi was 52 seconds behind. The leader, that was at mile 12. So once they come to the finish, we'll get some more. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about less than a minute between the top 4 trucks at mile 12 on the first lap. So as soon as here comes Jack, he's coming by. You might be able to hear him in the background. He's coming by us on the infield here.
We are on board.
Now, I'm honestly not sure if we're going to be able to see if they take the Joker on the actual map, but we will be able to see if Polvardi leapfrogs Eric coming up here or not.
Definitely.
So we are on board with Jack Olagus coming through on his first lap, starting his second right now, going past the spectator zone. So if you are out here in Laughlin, there is a dedicated spectator zone here in the infield where you can come over, watch the racing from over there. If you can make your way over to main pit, you can pop into the Optima batteries area and watch it with us as we watch Jack heading out onto his second lap. And this is that section I was talking about earlier with the big bowl turns, just on the other side of this mountain. He's getting ready to make a hard right-hander just after this hill.
All right, and when Jack came through, his first lap was in a lapse time of 12 minutes and 23 seconds. So 12:23 to go about 15 miles. We're doing faster than 60-mile-an-hour average here.
Yep, there's some straightaways where they can really be ripping 100, 120.
And Jack's lap was 15 seconds faster than Chris Polvardi's lap. which a lot of sitting in the dust. You can see Jack has a problem on screen right now, though.
We are watching him. He just pulled over, and we see him getting out.
Jack's getting out.
Oh, it looks like is that something under the hood that was smoking a little bit even, it looked like, for a second?
Yep. It's not good when Jack's out first.
So something wrong with the truck here. We'll see if we can figure out what's going on. They're pulling the hood off. It's all fiberglass or carbon fiber panels on these vehicles. It's pretty easy to get it off normally. They forgot one hood latch there. There we go. They got the hood off. They may have thrown a belt.
Yep. Based on the way they're looking, I think they tossed a belt.
Look at him.
He's cheered on.
He's telling him, go, go, go.
Ooh,
oh, look at this.
Watch Chris coming in on Eric's bumper here.
This is awesome. All right, yeah.
This is our all-wheel drive battle.
It is. All-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive. Oh, Christopher's getting a little sideways there, going off the side of the jump.
He's getting excited. He's trying to make the pass happen. As Chris gets it up on two wheels here.
Watch this. Through
Getting
the corner.
A little rowdy. And that is Eric taking his Joker lap in the background. So that's the Joker lap. You can see the other black truck in the background taken.
Yeah, no, that I would not have done that right there. I would, unless he wanted to let Christopher go on purpose, I would not have taken that because you were guaranteed to lose a position right there.
After we talked about that, I got a text from Ricky Johnson who was saying his strategy would be to take the Joker lap early because once you get into lappers towards the end of the run, you never know what you're going to get.
Okay.
So at least in the beginning, you know if you do get stuck behind somebody, it's going to be somebody quick.
Yeah, like he just lost the spot to Pavardi, but he knows Pavardi's not going to hold him up.
Exactly.
Correct.
So this is the time, just like in rallycross, when the car clears in front of you, you have a very short amount of time to get one screaming lap. Your spotter is going to have to be on their game to let you know if you've got the 30 seconds, then you can take the Joker lap and still maintain the lead.
Yep. Looks like we are looking at...
That's another one of the vehicles pulled over on the side.
Number 87 pulled over, which would be Drew Wentz.
So
Looks
not
like
a good day.
Not in a hurry, so probably into their day, whatever happened.
Yeah, did we see Jack get going again yet, or no?
No, we did not yet. So we are watching the S&S racing coming through.
All right, we have Dodge down in the hot pit, and it sounds like somebody's down there. What do you got, Dodge? Who's in the hot pit?
How long? All right, you guys, we actually have someone pulling into the hot pit right now. It's a 1,500 car, 7 Industries. This is a sprint race. So if you happen to pull into the pits, you're definitely going to get passed. Because when you pull into the hot pits, it's a 25-mile-an-hour speed zone. And then obviously you're pulling because you're having some kind of issue. So you're spending some time in here. Now, that car just got passed by that next truck, losing a position on the track here. You can see he might even lose another. The corner here is maybe a quarter of a mile. By the time they get to right behind me, they're up to 60 miles an hour. And I think by the time they get to that next corner at the end of the hot pit, they could be up into the triple-digit speeds. Now, we'll just watch as some of these guys come in. We talked to the Miller Time and that beautiful zip tie orange truck that came in. These guys are actually super tight, only about 10-second difference. You can see this orange and blue truck coming through. He's going to be about, 15 seconds ahead of Miller Time. These guys, we caught up with them at the start line, talking a little bit of trash back and forth about who was going to win off the line. Oh, huge dust storm. And you can see that it was not Miller Time, but he's coming for blood. Now, a lot of these guys, just like that Miller Time right there, he's actually not even running 2 spare tires because this is a sprint race. And if you get more than one flat, well, you might as well just come into the pits because you've already lost a couple positions. These guys, they want to make sure that they're as light as possible. They're trying to win off the line, and they're trying... Oh, we're getting covered in a dust storm. You know what? These trucks, they got to be getting a little further ahead. We're going to let you guys catch up with them up there, and we'll stay here for when the action comes back in the hot pit.
All right, thank you for that update there from the hot pit. We are back to live racing action on course here. We have 10 vehicles that are through that have completed their first lap. We have Jack Olegas in first. We got Kevin McGilvray with Rob Mack driving in second, Eric Husted in third. We did see he got passed by Christopher Fulbardi, who came in fourth on the timing. Then we have Sterling Miller, Corey Kieser, Scott Chavosa, Greg Adler, Kit Stokes, and Steve Olegas. That is a look at our top 10 at the end of lap 1.
So it's still pretty tight racing.
It definitely is. The first guy's through at 12:23, and the 10th car, it was through at 14:05. So only about a minute and a half between first and 10th right now. So very, very close.
And touch on what Dodge was saying over there at the hot pits. The wind hasn't helped with keeping the water in the dirt this weekend. So it has dried this track out significantly, because I know the boys were out there putting in work in the water trucks for the last 2 days straight, trying to keep this track nice and wet so we didn't have dust problems today. And the wind came through and said, nope, we're going to make it nice and dusty for you guys. Good luck.
Definitely. So out on the second lap now, if you're looking in our app, we see that we have split times out there. We have Kevin McGilvray is showing his first right now with Christopher Polvardi in second. Christopher is 27 seconds behind him on lap 2 out on course right now.
That's pretty good. Pretty tight racing.
Now, Christopher's already passed some lap traffic in class, and it looks like Eric has also made his way by that traffic. That's the race that's going on right now, is Christopher and Eric. Christopher needs to clear him. I heard Rob McCachran say that the Joker was more like 15 seconds. So he needs to clear him by 15 seconds in order to be able to take the Joker and reestablish that lead for real.
We are back on board with one of our drivers here. I can't quite make out which truck
Now,
this is.
you guys, Robert, when you're racing these, do you get hand signals like this?
Yes.
Typically, so it's kind of like Australian boat racing.
Yep, a little bit.
When you're in there. So why not call the notes over the radio?
So he's doing both. So every once in a while, when your comm system gets haywire, you'll resort to hand signals. But a lot of co-drivers just like to do it no matter what. Like my co-driver does it a lot of the times. Other times he's just happy to sit there and just call the notes. But if he's taking a drink of water, it's hand signals. And he'll curve his hand how sharp it is or give you the motion to slow down. And I'm actually a fan of it, because sometimes I'll mentally check out a little bit, but his hand going up reminds me, hey, you're still racing, dude.
Oh, no, you can see there's calories being burnt on some of the braking zones.
Yes.
Or coming into tighter corners. That hand is frantically shaking. It's amazing the glove even stays on, to be honest. Yeah, it's definitely different styles, you'd think. And because you and I talked before, a lot of these, especially laps where you're doing repeated laps, you can get pace notes, not just notes on where to go, but notes on how fast to go for every corner, breaking the corner down from 1 to 6.
Yep.
Almost like what gear you would be in, either first to sixth gear.
Yep.
And you can carry so much speed that way, but it's going to change lap to lap. It always is amazing the co-driver maybe knows so much more than the driver in some of these instances. Man, that jump is getting huge.
Yeah, that road jump is awesome. That's that's part of the Laughlin race course that makes it so fun. You have that thing every year. Sometimes it goes the other direction, and it's big going the other direction too. Just you have so much speed, you get to go up to that thing, and you don't want to lift because you know that other guys aren't lifting there.
Yeah, I bet you in these trucks they're doing 120 miles an hour off of that thing.
Especially going this way because they have such a long lead up to it that you can really hit that thing as fast as you want to go.
So next year, what I'd love to see is something you get out on rally stages, which are distance markers, and mark
the jump
distances.
Right? We got to have a jump contest. We need the Optima jump contest.
Didn't they used to have a Laughlin leap?
Here we go. Kaiser's coming up to it.
Yes, here we go. Yeah, coming across the road right here.
Oh, good time for a little pause. Helicopter flying too low.
Back on with Kit Stokes.
See, Kit's smart there. He puts his name on the dash, too, so you can see the sticker there so you know which car you're with. See the Stoke Motorsports there in the middle. There's a look at Greg Adler. Four-wheel parts car.
As he hits the road crossing.
Doesn't look like much from this view, but the outside view it does, right?
I gotta be honest, that's quite a lip.
Yeah.
For 120 miles an hour.
You think you'd check up?
No.
No?
No, I used to have the world record for the longest jump, and we only did 107 to do 332 feet.
Holy cow.
So 120 with a lip like that to flat, you could get close to that. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys are getting close to a record jump.
Yeah,
I wonder if these guys aren't checking up a little bit because of the wind, too. Because these things are like a sail. As soon as they come off the ground, the front end starts lifting. And if you got a headwind, it's way worse.
Yeah, and a crosswind grabs the tires with these trucks. So whichever way the wind's coming from, the truck will tilt in that direction. It's a terrible feeling. In that Hot Wheels jump, we were in the air for almost 4 seconds. Bryce Menzies broke that record, did 390 feet.
Over the town, right?
Over the town.
Over on Old Western Town. And ended up getting injured in the process, but jumping is no joke because a lot can happen in the air.
Yeah, here's the Fox Proving Grounds.
So this coming out of the proving ground, dropping into the area where I was talking about, they start excavating out the cinder blocks and the pieces of rebar. As they make this right-hand turn, there's like a boulder field right on the outside. You step out 1 foot, two-foot boulders right there.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. There's other races where you can get a flat tire, and some of these top co-drivers, they can change a tire in about a minute now. But at this race, 1 minute is going to cost you position. So you want to have no flats, no problems with this race in order to be on the top of the box.
We are on board with it. It's calling it Mike Fry, but Mike actually had an injury earlier this week, so his son Jacob jumped in. This is like a 15-year-old Miller truck that they've been kind of fixing up over the years and getting back up to speed. Local Vegas family. Always good people.
The one thing about this race is if you watch what the course looks like now, wait until tomorrow afternoon. This will look like a whole different course. These holes get about 3 times as big as they are on day 1 by day 2. It gets chewed up pretty fast out here.
Sterling Miller works his way through that water basin. You can see the dust now. He can't see. That dust is hanging down there. The wind isn't finding its way down into the basin. He just passed. That was a car stopped on the side there.
Now, Rob McCachran is driving the number 56, correct?
Correct.
So he technically is in the lead here. Christopher Porvardi has clean track for the first time and is trying to chase him down. Eric is not letting him go. So the question is there enough of a gap for either Rob McCachran or Christopher Porvardi to take the Joker this lap?
I'm not thinking so.
Yeah, it looks tighter than 15 seconds.
I think they'll do it out of necessity, not because they want to. So we'll see if they wait till the very end to do it. Because they were saying it was about a 20 to 30 second deficit.
That much.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's that much of a gap.
All right, we have some more action coming in the pits. Let's go down to Dodge. What do you got down there, Dodge, in the hot pit?
All right, guys, we're here in the hot pits. We're back. We got a little bit of switch up on the order. We saw that Jack Olegas, the winner from last year's championship, he is actually pulled over, making for Rob McCachran to be able to get by him. You see the wind is blowing pretty hard, which is amazing for these racers. Makes it for a much more entertaining race, makes them get a lot closer on one another's bumpers to make those passes. So Rob McCachran's leading the race. Buggy behind him, and then following him, you saw Christopher Porvardi. He made it around Husted. Husted, maybe 30, 45 seconds behind Christopher there, but we are very fortunate, and these racers are very fortunate that none of them have had to pull into this pit, or hardly any, I should say. Now, the Joker lap I know plays a huge factor. I believe that Husted is actually the one who took the Joker lap, and that is how Porvardi was able to get around him. Now, we're going to keep you guys up to date in this area. You can see the cars blow by me behind. You can see this is four-wheel drive from Husted. Passing there behind me. These guys are absolutely flying, and they're getting packed together. Now, one thing that happens on these races, especially lap races, there's a lot of lap traffic. And lap traffic adds to the racing dynamic in the sense of, dust is hard to see. Imagine driving behind somebody on a dirt road, and then imagine doing it at 100 miles an hour, right? The risk is there, but where there is risk, there is also reward. And that's what these guys are going for. They're going for a win today, but you got to remember that it's a 2-day race. So we're going to throw it back to these guys in the booth, let you guys see a couple more angles. But remember, this is only day 1.
All right, thank you for the update there.
We just watched Christopher Porvardi take his Joker lap.
There we go. So that was Christopher Porvardi. Took his Joker lap, so he doesn't have to do that anymore. And we can see the timing and scoring right there that we have on the screen. That was at race mile 28. That's basically going to be on your second lap. If we click over to race mile 30, you can see there's only 2 trucks there, but that is our lead too. So we can see that Rob McCachran has a 19-second lead over Christopher Porvardi right now on corrected time. This is corrected time as well.
Yep, we're watching Chris work his way out of the infield here.
Now that heated battle between Christopher and Eric, Eric had a problem there and set himself back some 30, 40 seconds. So that gave Christopher some clean air. He's able to go down and try to chase down Rob McCachran.
And we're being told that the Jack Olagus truck has a blown motor and he is out of the race. So big bummer for Jack Olagus there.
As they're passing him right there in the background.
That was him sitting there, huh?
Yep.
What a bummer.
Just outside of the main area here on lap 2. So bummer for Jack.
Okay.
We're watching the live timing on the left here as it's populating for us.
Yeah, this is the Clarios live timing brought to us all day today by them. Thank you to Clarios for bringing us this. This is something new that we're trying this race, and it's pretty cool. As you can see, just about every 2 miles we get a new time split that is on corrected time.
Oh, sorry. Nope, just watching Christopher Pavardi pass by Jack with that blown motor. That's always the worst, especially in a multi-lap race. You got to sit there for all 6 laps.
Yeah, 6 laps of watching people come by you.
Just getting dusted
Yep.
by everybody you've been trying to beat.
Hopefully he brought snacks.
If I know Jack and his co-driver, they'll be over there cheering people on.
Well, we saw him. Remember, he was already waving as soon as he
Yep.
got out on the first lap. Yeah.
I know him and the McGilverys, they're real close. They're pitting together. I actually got tasked with bringing parts out to keep the McGilvery truck in the race this weekend when I came down.
Let's see if I can go back here to. Oh, there we go. Okay, Christopher Pavardi just populated, so he's 35 seconds back. Now, the cool thing here, I'm going to go back to race mile 30 for a second. Watch on the left there. If you see at race mile 30, Christopher was only 19 seconds behind, right? Then at mile 32, he's 35 seconds behind. So Christopher lost some time between mile 30 and 32.
Also took the Joker lap, so that could have had something to do with it, is that you get that added time in there. So that does give you an idea of how much time the Joker lap takes. So just over, yeah, like you said, between 20 and 30 seconds.
So we'll watch once he comes to race mile 34, and we'll see if he's losing more time or if he has made up some time. This thing's jumping around a bit. We'll go back to 34.
So we're watching the helicopter overhead, chasing Christopher Polvorde in his all-wheel drive Mason truck, and his pops back into the infield as we're watching the Adler ORW truck. Now, is that a Jimco still?
I actually was looking at the timing for a second here.
I believe Adler's truck is a Jimco as we're watching Steve Olagus take his Joker lap. Oh, nope, he opted not to.
Yeah, so that turn right there is the Joker lap, right? If they go straight, they're on the Joker. If they turn right, they didn't take it.
Yep. Looked like he was going to sneak into it, but I was wrong.
Now, without looking at the live timing on this, just looking at the map, it sure does look like Polvardi is chasing down Rob McCachran. His average speed on the app is 4 miles an hour faster. But just looking at the map, they're now coming up to mile 5 of their 3rd lap, and it looks like he's gaining.
We are watching the Silver Spur Racing truck hit our infield jumps, which are actually some of the nicest infield jumps I've seen.
Yeah, they did a good job on the infield here. Oh, we got Kit Stokes is stopped on the infield here. That's not good to see.
Looks like Kit might be having some issues. I know they had some issues with that truck earlier in the month testing. They had a V-drive problem, and then during qualifying, they actually broke a sway bar.
Looks like you might have an engine problem or something here maybe, huh? Or
Something.
transmission.
For sure. I know every once in a while they have V-drive issues. That is an old truck with a lot of power. His co-driver's jumping out. Looks like they're about to check on something.
So the Adler truck, we just got an update. The Adler truck is a Tisco truck. It is the old U-Theory truck. So that is what the Adler truck is that Greg is racing out here today. You can see Greg is in 6th place back at mile 30 there. So keep in mind when you guys are using this app, if you go back a couple miles, you'll see where some of the other positions are. If you're at the most recent mile here, like 36, you can see only one has been through there so far. So it's good to click back a tab or two, and then that will populate with more vehicles that have come through there.
We are back on board with one of our Starstream cameras. Now this is the really fast power line section coming back in. It's about race mile 12 and a half, 13 or so. Oh, nope, he's a little bit past it. So he's about race mile 13 and a half. He's going to come up along this ridge line, take a right, and drop in.
Yeah, so looking at the times over there, we have Rob Mack still first, Christopher Polvardi 2nd, Eric Husted 3rd, Corey Kieser 4th. We got the 45 with Scott in 5th, Steve Olagus in 6th. That is our current running order. Steve Olagus was 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes out of the first position.
Sharp to Trevor.
Oh, we got some nerfing action going on here. Here we go.
Yeah, we do. We got an unlimited truck getting passed by a spec truck.
Oh, he went around the jump.
I don't know how that's going to play out.
2 jumps.
He said, no, sir.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
That's going to be a Donald call for sure.
It looked like that unlimited truck had some sort of an issue.
Yep.
It kind of
So
did. Like
maybe
it was
that
slowing
gives
down.
maybe that
It
gives
is-
you a buy.
It's one of the older trucks for sure out here racing. They do a lot of work on it. They keep it kind of up to date. But at the end of the day, it is still pretty dang old.
There you go. There's a look in Adler again. That was easy to spot that hood. That was Rob Mack going by there in the orange truck.
Kevin McGilvery, the number 56, is the DOR in that truck. Partners up with Rob for the Legacy Series.
Looking at more trucks that did not take the Joker lap right there. So they decided not to take it this lap. You just have to do it one time. You can do it anytime you want. But at some point during your 6 laps, one of the laps, you do have to take that little Joker lap. Kind of a fun little twist that Legacy throws in here to the racers.
I think it's pretty cool.
There. Yeah. That's the old Got Milk truck right there, the 84 Nick Vanderway. That's why it looks like a cow. The black and white truck there. Famous for having the big Got Milk on the side of it over all the years.
Now that's an old truck too.
Yeah, definitely. That thing's been around a long time.
Shows us John Vanderway racing this weekend. I was looking, I think it was in his 20s, so maybe it's a son.
That was a good send. That's the road crossing we're talking about there. So that was pretty cool. That was
I think
a good
the
one.
wind got him.
It did look like it pushed him to the side a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, at that speed, it took like 1/8 of a mile to gather it up.
Right?
Yeah. Clipping bushes and swatting bees in there.
That's not really when you want to be sideways at that
No.
speed, right?
Good gosh.
He was on an adventure there.
Yeah. But
For
looking back
watching.
at the infield, it's Vanderway again. You can see Kevin McGilvray there has 34 seconds at our most recent time update. If I go back one, you can see Eric Husted there is 1 minute and 34 seconds back from the lead. He's about 1 minute back from Christopher Polvardi. And oh, there you go. There's a buggy going around and taking the Joker lap. So we got one of the 1,500 cars going to go take the Joker lap while the Unlimited truck stays on the main course.
This is Sterling Miller here. This is one of my favorite looking trucks. Have you got a close look at it?
The Sterling Miller truck?
Yep. The
What do you
black
like
and
about
gold.
it? The paint, or I mean, the scheme on it?
Yep. I love that every piece of aluminum is gold.
That
Front
takes a
to
bit of
back.
work.
It does.
A lot of
Shocks,
anodizing.
Shocks, A-arms, everything. It's a good looking truck. As he's trying to charge through that dust, and man, that wind ain't doing what we thought it was out there.
Oh, the dust is gnarly on track. That's part of off-road racing that's a little bit different from rally racing, right? You have dust here. In rally, it's usually a little bit more spread out, depending on what kind it is.
For rally in the forest, dust can be an issue, but usually there's a 2-minute start gap. For rally cross, you're racing door to door with 6 cars. Dust can be a big issue, but the track is at least 50% pavement. So you do get reprieve from that dust, but man, it is the worst. It's hard to describe. You know, from a helicopter or drone view, it doesn't look all that bad. In the cockpit, when you know that you can be 2 feet offline and destroy your truck, it is incredibly unnerving to not be able to see.
Definitely. And you can't slow down, because if you slow down, you'll never catch the guy that's in front of you.
100%. And at night, it's almost... I always seem to get the night stints whenever I do Baja, and you just chase this little orange light.
Your
that all the
ambers,
trucks that have. And you just chase that thing, and when that orange light dips, you slow down.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's incredibly alarming to see the trees and rocks going by in your lights that you never saw until they passed you.
Yeah, this is a good view right here. You can really see how rough that course is. I mean, that is a full Unlimited truck getting tossed around out there like that. I mean, these holes out there are getting pretty big.
This race always breaks down aggressively.
Definitely. There's a lot of DNFs too.
40-inch tires. Tearing it up. Got a little update on Kit Stokes, who was stopped in the infield. Sounds like he lost power steering.
It's Christopher Polvardi once again in the Optima-powered Unlimited truck, trying to chase down Rob McCackern, driving Kevin McGilvray's truck today. We'll see what Christopher can do.
I wonder if Rob being in the two-wheel drive and having a little bit of a speed advantage on the top end is playing into his advantage right now.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to be able to see what speed they were going there so we can see on the straightaway.
Now, Robert, would you agree that as the track gets more rutted, the advantage of the two-wheel drive or advantage of the four-wheel drive starts to slip away a bit as you can kind of railroad through the ruts?
That's how I feel, yeah. Because I feel like the two-wheel drives really rely on using the ruts and the berms to lean into, while the all-wheel drives can kind of flat track stuff and pull out way harder than the two-wheel drives. I feel like, and the rougher the course gets, the better the two-wheel drives are.
Interesting.
So They live for that rough stuff. The all-wheel drives kind of have the components that sometimes hold up, sometimes don't. Kind of depends on who's driving, what race it is. But I think we'll see the two-wheel drive shine as this race goes on.
Well, Pulvardi probably knew that, and he's really had just a few laps to get it done with Rob McCachran. He got kind of stuck in the dust with Eric, and it may have lost his opportunity, but he's pushing incredibly hard right now as they come back into this arena section. It's unknown whether or not Rob McCachran has taken the Joker. We know that Pulvardi has. We know that Eric has.
Yes.
Yep.
So McCachran, if he hasn't, then he still has that 20-second penalty looming.
Yeah, he's going to have to take it at some point and lose a little bit of time as he's coming back into the infield pretty soon here. This should be him. And it sounds like we have Dodge back in the pits. He's over there with Max Eddy Jr. What do you got, Dodge? What's going on in those hot pits?
Alrighty, guys, we're here in the hot pits. I'm standing with Max Eddy Jr. You guys know him from UTV Racing. Christopher Pulvardi blowing behind us. Now, Max, he races UTVs, total pro, but he's supporting a buddy. Who do you have out here with you?
So it's the number 20 trophy truck of Corey Kezar.
So Corey Kezar, we talked about him just a couple minutes ago and about how he is doing pretty good on corrected, but he's stuck behind someone. Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, you know, we're sitting here watching our live feed, and we got the new app up and watching the live tracking and stuff, and we're fourth on corrected time. But we've ran up on another truck, and we're just kind of battling through the dust right now, and I think it's holding us up a bit, but looks, you know, when we watch the live tracker, you could see him closing up on that dust, and hopefully get around him, and we can start making some time up.
Yeah, the Racing Redefined app, which is the app that you guys are going to want to download. If you haven't yet, it shows you all of the data live. And now the viewers are using it, but it's awesome that the guys here in the pit are using it. These guys over here got a great little setup, got a screen watching the live stream, and another screen set up for all of the live tracking. Now we're going to cut back to this action. You can see everybody's coming through the hot pits. None of the top guys have stopped here yet, but we also still haven't seen Jack Olegas. But we'll talk to you more about that later.
Actually, Pulvardi must have had a problem.
All right. What did we? Yeah, we just saw some action coming through the start-finish here. We just saw Rob McCachran went and took his Joker lap, so we now know that our leaders have all taken the Joker, correct?
Yeah, and it was really no problem. I'm not sure if Pulvardi had a moment there in the last, I don't know, between mile 12 and 13. He is getting some backfires from his engine there, but he really backed down, and McCachran has been able to run away now.
Yeah, we're going to see the next timing update because he was right around 30 seconds, 35 seconds. We'll see once this populates at race mile 46 right there. We're going to see if he gains some time, if Rob Mack gains some more time on him here. I think he did because it looks like he was at least, a minute or so split out through here.
So we're on board with Kit Stokes, who has lost power steering. They are currently working on a self-recover to get out of the infield.
There's a look. Is that Christopher maybe headed out? Quite see who that was there.
This is the Fry truck, number 13, with Jacob Fry behind the wheel.
Let's see if they catch some air going across the road here.
No, just a little bit.
Not fast enough.
They're usually pretty conservative.
All right, there we go. Actually, look at that. Christopher Pulvardi is showing is gaining some time. That's kind of weird.
21 because of the Joker.
Yeah, I guess so.
So because Rob McCachran took the Joker, he lost about 20 seconds. So you may have seen a 40-second deficit now. Now it's only a 20-second deficit. But that is in class. He also has one of the 1,500 buggies between him physically and McCachran. So it will be a big challenge for Pulvardi to pull this off.
Yes, we have Connor McMullen is actually in second overall place right now in a different class, but he is ahead of Christopher Pulvardi on time at the end of the second lap and the third lap. Here we go. It's another stuck car that's looks like out of the race maybe, depending on what happened here. It's never good when the driver's getting unbuckled. You never want to see the driver get unbuckled as well.
This kind of looks like the Fry truck.
I think it's a little red, though. That was Fry? Okay. Looks like a reddish brown or whatever the truck is.
Wonder what they're working on. We just watched them hit the road jump kind of down on speed.
Yeah, maybe they had an engine problem or something.
Now, what did they just activate on the system? It's a push-to-pass type system and stuff, right? But he just activated essentially a red flag, it looked like. It was flashing red.
So what they can do, that is definitely the Fry truck. On the Racing Tracks unit that's in there, you have a push-to-pass. there is a yellow triangle. So if you're broke down but near the course, you can activate that, and anybody coming up on you starts getting updates. So it starts at, I believe, 1,000 feet, and it tells you what side of the course they're on. So it'll give you a countdown starting at 10 or 9 to 1, and at 1, you're 100 feet out, and it's giving you an arrow that they're on your left or on your right. So it's another one of those things just for safety. And they also have a button for a medical emergency or if they need mechanical help. So if you're out of the race, you hit wrench, I just need help. If you're having a medical issue, you see one, hit the medical.
There we go. There's another time split. So 23 seconds still. So what was the last one? 21.
Yep.
So we gained 2 seconds on him right here. So Rob Mack still in the lead in the Kevin McGillivray truck over Christopher Pulvardi by 23 seconds. Corrected time live right now. We just saw that populate.
I mean, McCachran showing why he's a multi-time champion, 12-time Baja winner, I believe, 86 wins overall. I mean, just an absolute legend. Also just a downright nice guy.
Yeah,
40-plus years in the sport.
He has the most off-road wins out of anybody in the whole sport.
We're watching Jacob Fry taking a look, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that looks like an engine or something problem up there. There's Christopher Pulvardi back on screen.
Certainly not holding back. You can see the size of the ruts.
He is hauling the mail, and to not be running down Rob, that means Rob is flying.
Yeah. Now tomorrow they are going to start side by side. No one does get to start by themselves tomorrow. So if Rob and Christopher end today 1 and 2, they will be side by side tomorrow. That could be a little bit of an advantage for Christopher because he's going to have the all-wheel drive. But we'll have to wait and see how today finishes out first.
Now, seeing some attrition, and I got to say, I mean, after watching off-road racing and being involved for a while, mostly from the spectator side, the reliability of the trucks has gotten so much better. The four-wheel drive systems only recently are reliable. Now we're getting in-car video around the world live. We're able to use this app and see real-time. I mean, is this kind of the heyday of off-road racing, would you say?
With technology, yes. Yes, with the heyday of the amount of vehicles, no. There used to be more vehicles. There used to be 50 trophy trucks at some races. So the heyday was probably the early 2000s to mid-2000s for the amount of vehicles, but the technology has just changed so much. I mean, we're looking at this Starstream footage right here, and we're watching the race. Back in the day, you had maybe a sat phone, and you'd go out to a pit, and you'd sit there, and you'd hope the car was coming, and you could hear him on your PCI VHF radio. But now, you know exactly what's going on the whole time. You know what's wrong with the truck before the driver does half the time because you're looking at the gauges on the screen, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome what technology is doing. Not to mention communications. You're in communications with these guys at all time. Because if you can see them right here, the crew could be talking to them.
Sure.
They're running a Zello or some other kind of communication system.
Totally illegal. You just ratted them out, but that's fine.
No, that's legal. They're just not allowed to talk to the helicopter.
Oh, okay. I got
yeah, you're allowed to talk to your crew with it, just not the helicopter.
Yeah, and then you see the live timing. I mean, that is something that's totally new. And on the map, the next step, and obviously this is the first run of this app.
Yes.
But in the very near future, you'll be able to click on any one of those trucks on that map and get right in their vehicle with any number of cameras to choose from, different angles. They'll all be live streamed straight through the app. So it really is awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is. This will look at the app right here. So you can see, look at how much these dots are updating on the left there. It's pretty much live. So every time that thing moves, that's a new update. So if I go over and I'll try to find the leaders for us here. So there we go. There's the 94 right there. That is Christopher Pulvardi, and there is the 56. So if you just watch right here on the left of your screen, this is the Racing Redefined app once again. So go download this from the App Store. You can see there's Christopher Pulvardi, and there's the 56. That's the gap between them. That's live right now every time that thing pins.
Now, you can look at it from a satellite view also, right, or in 3D?
Yes. There's options on the side here which you can turn on, and you can do all kinds of different things right here. You can do 3D, world map. You can do a bunch of different stuff. So it is pretty cool, and this is only going to get better.
Yeah.
But that is watching the race live.
It is awesome to see, and it certainly makes following the race a lot better. I've got some text about this Clarios live timing. To answer the question, Clarios is the parent company of Optima Batteries.
Yes.
It's the largest battery company in the world, and Optima is one of their brands, so that answers that question there. But they're getting heavy in racing, and obviously racing is a great place to test products and prove reliability and innovate. So it's great to see, manufacturers from, tires to batteries to everything stay in something as brutal as off-road to prove their product.
Yeah, there's no more destructive testing you can do than going to put something in an unlimited truck and go race it at speed and see if it holds up or not.
Especially in 102-degree weather.
No, definitely. Yeah, it's hot out here today. For those of you guys at home, the weather is close to 100 degrees. There is a bit of a breeze, which is nice. It keeps it a little cooler. It blows some of the dust out of the way depending on what direction you're headed. But it is a warm one out here today.
I did not expect this. A week ago, it was 70 degrees down here. Come race week, we're banging triple digits.
Yeah, you can see Rob Mack still 23 seconds ahead there at the last update.
And Polvardi did pass some lap traffic and did maintain his distance, so McCachran may be saving the truck a little bit with a substantial lead. Just trying to brace himself for this last lap with the track as brutal as it gets.
Yeah, you can't win the race today, but you can lose the race today. You know, so you want to keep that in mind when you're out there. You don't need to win by a whole lot today. You just want to win by enough. Gives you a little bit of a cushion tomorrow. Maybe if you get a flat tire, you want to have about a 2-minute, 3-minute cushion maybe, just so you know if you do get a flat, you're not totally done. So you want to put a little bit of a gap there today, but you also don't want to break the truck trying to drive it too hard today.
So how do the results from today affect your race tomorrow?
It is combined. So if you get 5-minute time today, you start 5 minutes tomorrow. The start is still 30 seconds apart. You go 2 at a time, but your timing starts where it ended today. So if you end with 1 hour today, you start at 1 hour tomorrow, and you start from there. If the guy behind you started at 1:05, he's 5 minutes behind you on the time tomorrow. He'd have to pass you and beat you by 5 minutes in order to win.
And it's another 6 laps.
Same thing as today.
So
6
essentially
laps.
it's a 12-lap race.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you'll see out here, and I don't know if Kevin's going to get in tomorrow, but a lot of the guys that have 2 different drivers, you will see one driver drives each day. So, normally in a longer race, maybe they change at a pit stop or something like that. But today, the one driver will just drive the whole session. And then tomorrow, if you have a second driver, the second driver will just drive the whole session, which actually makes this race a lot of fun because you can have a couple guys do that. And speaking of 2-day racing, I think we have a little clip on that.
So racing 2 days is convenient for me, and I love the short course kind of format here in Laughlin.
It gives you a chance to make some corrections that, you may not have caught something the first day and you say, oh, we could trim that, make that a little better.
Who's ever leading from Saturday will start first on Sunday. So if you have that gap, that guy that you beat, by a minute has to pass you and put 31 seconds on you to beat you. So
right off the gate,
I drive fast the first day? Do I cruise the first day, save the truck? It's a tough one, but ultimately I feel like as a driver, you're like, I want to win day one.
You can run wide open. You're not really trying to conserve the truck for a long time. You can kind of just put it all on the table.
it's key to qualify good and then have a very good first day and hopefully be leading with a big enough gap to where Saturday or Sunday, the second day, you can just settle in and put 6 good laps in.
You got to go if you want to be, on the podium with the unlimited trucks.
hammer down. You got to try real hard on day one. It's a short course race for desert.
All right, there you go. That is what two-day racing is all about. Now, these are some of the cars that we saw earlier that unfortunately are out of the race. That looks like that was Fry's truck there parked out of the race. And you can see on the left there, that is our Clarios live timing. And Christopher Polvardi is still 21 seconds behind Rob McCachran in the number 56 Kevin McGillivray truck.
I'm sorry, but it's just amazing. This chaos that you see from the in-cars bouncing around, and I mean, just the brutality of it all, and still to maintain within 1 second of each other lap after lap.
Yeah.
It really is impressive. I mean, that equals no mistakes is what that means.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at these guys' lap times when they come around, every single lap is almost the same time, too. Like, there's not a variation of usually 20 seconds between laps. If their first lap was 14 minutes, the next lap is 14:02. You know, they're within just a couple seconds on this race. So that's how close it is usually.
We are watching Rob McCachran coming in, the Kevin McGillivray, number 56.
So this is going to be the end of the fourth lap. That means he has 2 more laps to go. He'll be heading out on the 5th and then the 6th lap, and that will conclude day 1.
Yeah, Rob's not letting off. He's going to push to the checkered flag.
And both Rob and Christopher have already taken the Joker lap, so we will see them both turn right past these jumps. No one else, they do not have to take it again once you've done it once. Look at the dust. I mean, that's what you're trying to drive through when you're out there. You can't see anything, right? I mean, the camera makes it a little worse depending on the exposure sometimes, but still, you can't see anything. You got to trust your co-driver.
You know, and it's tricky when it's blowing like this because you can get close to a truck in front of you with a crosswind, and the dust is being cleared out by the crosswind, but you make a 90-degree turn, all of a sudden you're in a headwind.
It's coming
and
right
that
at you.
dust is coming straight in your face, and you literally just have to back off. That's all you can do.
Yeah, luckily today the wind is blowing the opposite direction from the track most of the time. So it is a crosswind most of the time, but there is some sections where it's coming right at you.
This just reminds me of that rally video. Simi, you're not listening to me.
You're
Simi,
breaking the car.
You're breaking the car, Simi.
Yeah. Right here with the hand gestures. You got the hand gestures going on there. We got a left coming up. We saw him point left and then a hard right and through a bump.
Yeah, and there's a dip.
Yep, dip
Got
through
it.
the right. Hard right.
So starting lap 5, correct?
They are out on lap 5. They have completed 4 laps. The official timing at the end of the lap was 52 minutes and 54 seconds for Kevin McGilvray and 53 minutes and 13 seconds for Christopher Polvardi. So a difference of 40, what is that, about, 48 seconds it's saying here.
Nah, that's a tight race.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, it looks to me like on mile marker 60, as we go into the 5th lap, Christopher's narrowed down the race to 17 seconds.
So here you go. His last lap time, this is lap 4. Rob McCachran did it in 13:27. However, Christopher did lap 4 in 13:07. So he was 20 seconds faster than Rob Mack on that last lap. Was that the Joker lap that Rob had taken?
Well, let's see. Is the Joker after the start line? Yeah, so it could have been, yes.
Yeah, so that was, and you said it was 20 seconds.
Yeah, well, McCachran said 15 seconds. He probably knows better.
Yep.
But it's been anywhere from 15 to mid-20s.
Yeah, so Rob Mack's next lap, if he has everything go good, should be back below the 13:27 that he just did. There's Vanderway coming over the road crossing.
Just getting some info in that the Fry truck had a belt issue, lost a serpentine belt, and didn't have a spare on the truck.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And the number 99 blew a transmission.
Ah, that is never
That's
good.
A little bit of our attrition that's going on. Some updates.
Yeah, we're actually seeing quite a bit of attrition coming out today. We don't have that many trucks that are still running on the high lap here.
Just everybody going wide open all day.
Yeah.
Wearing these things out.
Where's Husted? Husted should be coming around at some point here, right?
Yeah, so I've been trying to keep an eye on him. It looked like he had a little bit of downtime on the live map. Not sure what it was. I didn't get any updates from the team. They're kind of running a tight crew this weekend.
There he is, the 38. We can see here when we zoom in on our map.
Yep, 38's coming through the main. Yep, he has no hood now.
The 38?
Yep, must have had some kind of issue.
Okay. There's Vanderway right there. So on the left of your screen there, once again, that is our live map. So the 38, that's Eric Husted. He's coming back through the infield right here. You can see on the map.
Yep.
47 is Kit Stokes, unfortunately parked. Was outside the infield here. Let's go back.
Power steering issues for Kit.
Let me find our leaders again here. There we go, right there. So Christopher Polvardi, you can see the 94 is still chasing down the 56. Rob Mack driving it, and there is Christopher on screen right there.
And he's pounding the turns. So you think he's going to wait till the last two and then put on a big charge for try and get him on time?
Yeah, I mean, Christopher could be setting it up for a good TV show here, you know? I mean, you don't want to go out there and smoke him. It looks cooler if you come from behind and then you gain on him a little bit every lap.
So let's talk about tomorrow. They're just thinking what Christopher might be thinking through a little bit.
Yep.
On track, there are 3 cars up there, not just 2, right? Because there still is the 1500 between them.
For the overall, correct.
Yes.
Yep.
So right now, McCachran would start alone. Is that correct?
No, they're doing 2 tomorrow. Everybody
Okay.
goes 2. So, but it would be first and second. So if the 1500 car is second, he would be on the line with Rob.
So really, Polvardi, and we can't see on the live timing where that buggy is, But Polvardi is trying to get in front of that buggy. His goal is to be side by side with McCachran on the line, use the all-wheel drive to take the lead, and that would be his best play. So right now he's trying to pass that 1500 buggy.
I can tell you right now that the 1500 buggy did have a time of 53:10 at the end of his 4th lap. So remember that, 53:10. And then
he is ahead on
Rob
time.
Mack was 52:54, and Christopher was 53:13. So the buggy got him by 3 seconds at the end of the 4th lap. So you're right, Christopher would be on the 2nd row tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right
He'd
now.
be starting behind.
It's very tight.
So he's got to make up 3 seconds in order to
His
get to that
spotters
front
are
row.
for sure telling him right now, you need to get in front of this 1500 truck for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. He wants to be on the front row right next to Rob.
Yep.
So we're watching the live stream from the drone going through the Fox Shocks Proving Grounds. This is the roughest section on the course.
We're being told that Rob is actually being held up by lap traffic from some spotters out there. So there you go. That's something else that comes into play later in this race is some of the lap traffic that you catch. And depending on where it happens at, that could easily cost you 20 seconds or more. So Rob Mack getting hung up.
I don't know. I don't see any lap traffic right now.
It was a mile ago, they just said. 1 mile ago, he was behind some lap traffic. We'll see if Polvardi. Yeah, look at Polvardi on the times.
cow.
Look at that. 11 seconds only behind him. He was 20.
Made up some time.
So he's made up 10 seconds already.
So it looks like they both passed a bit of lap traffic, number 13, and maybe Polvardi was able to do that in a little bit more of an efficient way than McCachran was.
And Rob could have caught him in a way when the wind was blowing right at him, and Polvardi caught him when the wind was blowing sideways.
Yep. And there's that difference in suspension setup. Rob is on old school analog shocks. Chris is on the new live valve stuff.
Yeah, he's got the Fox shocks on there.
Yep, as this stuff breaks down, Chris's shocks are making up for it and accounting for it. While Rob's on the same setup from the green flag to the checkers, we got some awesome action on screen here.
I think that's Steve Olgas in the middle, looked
Yep.
like, and then Sterling Miller was behind him, and there's an in-car with Sterling Miller right there. And
Ooh,
perfect
good
time to
co-dog.
wipe the camera for us, thank you.
Thank you, co-driver, keeping us in mind over here.
So I don't know who passed who there. We didn't get to see it before that. I don't know if Steve just made the pass or if Steve is being caught there. And this is Greg Adler there. I think he might have been the one in front of both of these guys. Oh, look at that. Just can't see where the turn is.
Oh, still cleaning the camera for us, man. That
Co-drivers
guy's
are on it.
salary.
He's in the heavy dust, making sure we can still see.
It's amazing to see Greg Adler back under Four Wheel Parts banner.
Yeah. got
After
his own
founding the
company back.
business, selling the
Yeah.
business, getting it back.
Yeah. Yeah, now ORW and Four Wheel Parts are both the same company, basically, owned by the same person.
There's this show where it's like undercover bosses.
I remember that when
You
he
have
went
to check
on
it
as
out.
the boss.
Greg Adler did that, yep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Pretty awesome.
There's Christopher Polvardi currently running second, but he has been running down Rob Mack. Look at that. Gained another couple seconds. Wasn't he 11 seconds last time? Now he's
Yes.
down to 9 seconds. So he
Taking
gained
up
another
big
2 seconds on Rob Mack. They're out on the 5th lap, so they are going to have one more lap after this. Some of the other classes out here only did 5 laps, but the Unlimited trucks are doing 6 laps, 15 miles per lap. Looks like that's that Sterling Miller again there we're looking at. Still trying to chase him down. Look at him. He's still right on Steve's bumper.
Here
He
comes a
hasn't
pretty
moved.
heavy nerf coming up right here.
Yeah, he's definitely catching him. But Steve's being held up too. See the dust in front of Steve?
Yep.
That's holding him up a little bit too. Oh, he's going for the pass.
Sterling's getting him.
I think he got him. Did he get him? It
think
it almost
he
looked
dove
like
in on it.
contact there too.
Clean that
Perfect.
camera, thank you.
Yeah.
His co-dog's on it.
Yeah, shout out to the co-dog there of Sterling Miller doing an excellent job keeping us being able to see the star stream here. It's pretty fun to see this Method Race Wheels live coverage today, all day long here at the Battleground at Laughlin, Nevada. He's got a little bit of clean air now, but then he's going to catch that next truck up there. I think this might be the next truck in front of him here.
This is Adler.
Yeah, I think he's the next one that Sterling Miller might be coming up on now. We'll have to look. If we go back over to my screen and try to find him.
Little overhead shot here following Chris.
So there's a look at our
He's
time.
in dust too.
Yeah, if you look on our screen here on the app, we got the 94 there. You can see chasing down the 56 on
No,
the
it's
left of your
Corey.
screen.
He's chasing down Corey Kasar.
Ooh, Corey Kaiser?
Kaiser,
Is that
yeah.
who's in front of Miller?
Yeah,
Sterling
actually,
Miller?
he just passed him.
Perfect. Okay, you got
Miller
around
just
him?
passed him.
All right, so we may see that again. This might be him right here. Does he look like he's got clean air? Is he about to catch him?
I think he's still in it.
This is a couple seconds delayed from the map sometimes, so we might get to see a pass here in a minute.
Oh, no, you're right. He still is behind him.
Probably
Shout
really
out to
close.
Austin Nesloni, who is Sterling Miller's co-dog, for being on top of wiping the camera for us.
Well, that guy's got a good name. That's why his first name is the best one. Did Rob Mack just come through here?
Rob Mack is
Not
just
yet,
passing mile
yeah.
12.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be here in just about 4 minutes.
Yeah, we can see him right here on the tracker.
The Racing Redefined app on.
Yeah, once Mack is here, we'll be able to see if there's any out-of-class traffic, either holding him up or holding Pulvardi up.
Yeah, because once again, this tracker right here on the app is just showing you the unlimited trucks, but there is the 1,500 Class 1 cars that are mixed in here.
We're watching Chris just went over Road Crossing 2, coming up on about race mile 12, and he's in dust, and I think that's playing a big factor for him.
And that's going to be McMullen's dust that he's in, maybe?
Yep. That is that's definitely going to hold him up, because McMullen's just fast enough to keep him back there if there's enough dust. All-wheel drive doesn't let you have X-ray vision through the dust, sadly.
We have 9 unlimited trucks that are out on their 5th lap right now, so we still have 9 running. There is a little bit of a gap between the first one. The first one is at 52 minutes. That is Rob McCachran. And the 9th place one is at 59 minutes. So we have about a 7-minute spread between 1st and 9th right now in the unlimited trucks, headed out onto their 5th lap, that was. We'll see when they finish the 5th lap where everybody stacks up.
I believe Pulvardi has caught that 1,500 truck.
The buggy?
Yeah, the buggy, and he's dropped back to 22 seconds.
Okay, so
behind.
he lost a little
he's
bit of
lost
time.
himself.
We can see right there at mile 72. This is Adler right here. You can see the ORW on the suits. One easy way to spot him. That's his front camera right there.
I did not expect dust to be such a factor today.
Well, with as windy as it is, yeah, it's kind of
It's kind of odd.
blowing all over the place.
Here's the big road jump. Let's see how big he goes.
It's hard to tell from that angle.
Now, did you see the wind pull the nose of the truck
Did.
over with the crosswind? And then he's coming up to a 90 left where he'll be in a direct headwind. And at that point, the dust just keeps on tracking right back into your face.
And that was Rob Mack coming in to finish his 5th lap there a second ago in the orange truck. That is our 2nd place overall right there, I believe. That looks like Connor McMullen right there. And that is Christopher Pulvardi right behind him. So there we go. You can see Christopher Pulvardi is right on Connor McMullen. He is in his dust.
See if that all-wheel drive comes into play in the infield here and lets him get right on his bumper.
So just a reminder what this is for. If he gets by this 1,500 buggy, he will start alongside Rob McCachran. And basically, Rob McCachran's lead goes to 0.
Yep.
All-wheel drive versus two-wheel drive off of a sandy line, the advantage will clearly go to Pulvardi off that launch.
Yep.
So this is his weekend right here to get by this 1,500 buggy.
Now, question is, did we see that buggy take the Joker lap? I don't remember if I've seen it or not.
That's a
This,
great question.
this is his last opportunity right here because, like you said, he has to take it right now because it's after the start, right?
Yep.
So
it's
he will
after the
not be
finish.
starting another one after this.
So Rob
Let's see.
McCachran takes the normal lap. The 1,500 buggy that's been in McCachran's dust, passing through momentarily.
We will see if he goes on the Joker. If he does, Christopher Pulvardi is going to get around him for sure because he's only about 5 seconds behind him right now. So this could be the opportunity. I don't know if he's taken it yet or not. We will
Chris.
watch. You're going to see Chris either go by him right here or not.
Coming into the infield is Rob Bax heading out of the infield.
And even if it's not on camera here, we will let you guys know because it is right in front of us.
Rob Mack going into this little tight bull turn section here.
35 seconds behind now. Christopher lost a little bit more time. 35
so Chris
seconds.
is behind the buggy, and the buggy is behind the I-beamed unlimited truck.
That they're lapping?
Yep.
Lap traffic coming into play.
Yep. So, and that unlimited truck has a big Danzio, and
There we
it's
go.
fast.
He's right there. Connor McMullen is not taking it. So he must have already taken it earlier. Christopher Pulvardi right there. You can see he's only about 4 seconds behind him, physical.
And Connor got around that unlimited truck, and Chris
he
did not.
You can see him right there on your screen at the bottom. That was Connor McMullen around the white truck. The white is lap traffic.
Now the wind is blowing the dust straight into Pulvardi's face on that one. That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
He lost a huge amount of time. So what happens when he approaches that I-beam, that white unlimited truck? Is there he can push to pass, let the truck know that he's coming within a certain distance?
When Christopher Polvardi catches up to that truck right there, that guy's truck is going to get a lot faster all of a sudden, and he's going to wonder why.
Yep. And that dude he's just fast enough. That truck has a lot of power. That I-beam truck, he's got a big motor. So
Yeah.
It's hard to pull that truck.
He will know that he's a lap down.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but he
Right?
doesn't care.
Doesn't
He's
care.
racing too.
It's one of
Well,
those
he's
things,
not racing.
depending on your etiquette. You know, if you know your lap down and you just saw the leaders go around
Exactly.
you like that, and then you see another guy behind you, a lot of people would get out of the way.
Sure.
You know, they don't have to. There's no rule they have to. At the same time, Christopher can take him for a ride if he wants to, and there's no rule against that.
By
So-
take him for a ride, you mean punt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nerf him hard.
Nerf him. Yes.
Just a little one.
I mean,
now,
is the
nerfing does slow
etiquette?
you down because you lose a little bit of speed when you hit them, so you don't really want to. But they're going to be going up the long straightaway right here. So if we can stay with this shot, this is going to be an awesome shot going up to the road jump because this is going to be a long straight. And I think, like you said, that truck has a lot of power. I don't know how much Christopher was going to gain on him on the long straightaway.
So I think Chris will gain on him. That was still in the Bureau of Reclamation land over there. Saw the poop water. So he still had to work through all that tight stuff. So that
Here
all-wheel
we go.
drive, I think, has an advantage in there, and he is running him down.
Yeah, we need to stay on this shot right here. This is going to be an awesome shot. This is the battle of Christopher Fulvardi trying to get around lap traffic that is holding him up. And look at that dust.
The dust is brutal. He's right into the headwind at this point, so the dust is not clear to the side. After this 90 right, he'll be able to see, but he's completely
that.
blind. Completely blind through there.
We can't even see him. There he is.
And when you're in the truck, it's twice as bad as the overhead.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, this looks like it's not that bad. Down there, he can't see anything. He's whited
Zero.
out. Whited out.
Full white out.
He's literally staring at the GPS map.
Oh,
Now he's going to take into
Here we
left
go.
lane here. He's got a left lane open.
Oh, he's going to get him right here.
I think your guy gave it to him.
There he goes.
I think he did.
All
which
right.
is good.
That was good. Yeah,
nice
nice
on him.
etiquette there if he pulled over to the side. So now Christopher really has to drive hard because he was just stuck behind that guy while the buggy got around him and had clean air a bit to gain some time on him.
Yeah, so before all of that drama ensued, Christopher had backed his chase down to 35 seconds. And as we approach mile marker 78, it is now 38 seconds.
It was
38:23.
No, look at that. At 76, it was 1 minute. Sorry, 1 minute total behind him. So 38 uncorrected. We will see when he comes by 78, 49. So that held him up there.
So we are hearing Husted's truck come through the infield, not sounding very happy. So I believe Husted's having a engine issue of some kind, and that's why he dropped off the pace.
All right, so here's some timing.
Here's where
for-
the hand signals come into play.
Oh, in the dust? All right, so here you go. At the end of lap 5, our total time for the buggy was 107.02. 107.02. Now, going to look at the unlimited trucks, we have 106.04 for Rob Mack, and then 106.40 for Christopher. So he is ahead on time. He's got the buggy on time right now at the end of his last lap.
Ooh, here's Rob Mack
Yes.
hitting the... Oh,
Yeah.
and
There we go.
sends it.
Yeah, so Christopher's good right now as long as he doesn't lose about 20 seconds.
So the
He's got him on
dust
time.
did cost him 35 seconds, so you would think
Yep.
he'd be able to make up a little bit of time on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so the buggy is currently third overall right now. So it
It's
will
a-
be the two trucks as of right now.
It's a great shot. Great shot of Rob McCachran doing what he does.
These
Just
drone
absolutely
operators are
covering desert real estate.
Now, here's something that comes into play as well. That truck is owned by Kevin McGilvray. Rob Mack is driving it today.
Yep.
Usually they would split and they would each drive a day. So if Rob Mack doesn't drive that tomorrow, that could come into play too. We'll have to go and check and see at the end of today what their strategy is. Does he leave Rob in there again for tomorrow? Or does Kevin get in? Is Kevin as fast as Rob Mack? It all comes into play, right?
Sure.
Kevin is definitely fast on his own, but I don't know if he's Rob Mack fast.
I don't think that there's very many people that are, honestly. So
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's the only one. To be running away with this race in a two-wheel drive, 20-plus-year-old ID Designs truck is pretty impressive.
I was just going to say, that is an older ID Designs truck, too, so that thing is still hanging in there. Yeah.
It used to say Spec on the side. If anybody remembers that old truck from back in the day, same truck.
All right, we have Rob Mack clocked at 102 miles an hour over the road crossing.
Yes.
So on the radar gun, 102
Heck
over
yeah.
the road crossings. There you go, 100 miles an hour.
It's pretty impressive. That shows you how big he went. We are watching.
Let's go look back at the map
Kaiser
here.
truck.
Let me find our leaders again for you guys. All right, so there we go. That's the 94 on the app there.
Looks like Polvorde, who got the road jump at 102.
There you go. So 1 mile an hour difference. That's the exact same thing that Mac was actually. They were both 102. McMullen was 101.
Man, they're on par.
Yeah, pretty close.
So it's literally just the dust that was holding up Polvorde. So he's going through the Fox Shocks Proving Grounds.
Once again, thank you to Method Race Wheels for bringing us this live coverage today. That includes the new app there that is powered by Clarios, all the timing today. Pretty cool to see all the new technology being put to use today. And once again, this is only going to get better. This is just being used for the first time out here. This new app, Racing Redefined. So go to the App Store, download Racing Redefined. It's a free app, and you can follow along. They are on the final lap right now, so this is the 6th and final lap. Following this lap, we are going to try to get some of the drivers up here, hopefully, to do a quick interview with the top 3.
We're following Steve Olligus out of the main pit, out of the main infield there.
Polvarde's closed down just over 3 seconds in the last 2 miles. So with the buggy getting a little bit ahead, giving him a little bit of clean air, he is able to tighten up and hopefully tighten the reins on getting a corrected win over that 1500 buggy.
Yep.
So that he can start alongside Rob Mack tomorrow.
I'm sure he's going to charge right to the back of the dust cloud of McMullen there.
Yeah, so if, for instance, right now he's 46 seconds behind Rob, right? So tomorrow they would start side by side, but he would have to finish 46 seconds ahead of Rob tomorrow in order to win, because your time does carry over. So even though they start side by side, Rob could literally know that he has 46 seconds and just sit right behind him all day.
Sure.
Just sit in his dust. As long as he's within 46 seconds, he doesn't have to go any faster. Christopher could cross the line first, and Rob would be 20 seconds behind him out of the dust, and he would still win.
Understood.
We are watching Christopher working his way up about race mile 8.5, give or take. Just coming out of the retention basin, one of the fast sections in the back of the course.
So we're going to have one more split here at race mile 84. We see that Rob is through there. We're going to wait and see how far behind Christopher is. Should be coming through there any second now, and then it'll just be at the finish.
There's those ruts I was talking about, Tanner, where the two-wheel drives start getting that advantage, laying into the slot car and just standing on the gas.
Just like just on rails through there, right? Just like now with the two-wheel drive, do they behave differently in the rails than the four-wheel drive?
They definitely stand up a little bit more because the all-wheel drive will try and hold the front end down, especially if you have to steer into something. But I think these trucks are so wide, and most of these guys have their suspension set up so well. Unless you get real squirrely, it's going to hold it pretty firm for you.
All right, so 50 seconds at race mile 84 there. Their second to last timer. It's actually third to last, so the finish on here is a little bit before the actual finish. So when it clicks back over to the finish, that is going to be about 2 miles before the actual finish of the race.
And Rob Mack stretching the lead out to just over 50 seconds. So theoretically, Polvarde catching up to some dust. It doesn't look like it in that shot there. And the next beacon they pass is the finish, correct?
On the screen right here, it won't be the real finish. When it says finish on this app, that's a little bit before the actual time finish.
Okay.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah, because you can see Rob Mack's already passed it, and there's Christopher passed it, but he's not at the finish quite yet.
Gotcha.
Because we're still looking at him moving on track there. So that is the finish of the live timing right there on the app. 50 seconds behind. That was the same as the prior one. So then we'll have to wait and see.
Well, these two really walking away from the rest of the class. The next competitor, Eric Husted, just over 4 minutes behind these two.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of separation there between the top couple.
As Christopher is absolutely flying. He's on the gas. He's charging because he's got clean air finally, and he's trying to run down.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be 50 seconds behind Rob Mack tomorrow. You don't want to have to make up 50 seconds on Rob Mack.
And I'm not seeing any dust. Do you think he made it by that 1500 buggy?
It's either that or he pulled out that much on him, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But what Fish was saying is if you don't want to give him that 50-second buffer.
Right.
Because if you pass Rob back and he knows he has to stay within 50 seconds of you, that's what he's going to try to do.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just going to stay there. He doesn't have to beat you. He just has to stay close.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I can't tell if you're calling him old or wise, one or the other.
Both.
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 Yeah,
Okay,
both,
fair enough.
definitely.
He's been racing longer than I've been alive by a lot.
A lot of racers don't like to hear that kind of slang thrown around. Just speaking from experience.
You're not old. Yeah.
I've had somebody tell me that before, though. It hurts. I cried, but we
You
got
get
through
over
it.
You'll get over it. You're still out racing race cars. That's all that matters.
All right, we got our live timing back. That's good here. So I will let you guys know when they come across the finish line what the actual legacy timing is. This timing you see on the app is different from the official legacy time. So this is the unofficial times right there, and that finish is not quite at the finish. It is about 2 miles before the finish.
We were watching Rob Mack hitting the big cinders coming into the infield.
So probably about a minute or less, we will have a finish time.
Yep.
For Rob Mack, and I will read it off to you when it comes in.
He is in the number 56 of Kevin McGilvery is the driver of record on that vehicle. He is charging, so he's not letting up either. I know Rob's big on having his crew call in split times, what everybody's doing. Rob's a gamer. He's on top of it. He comes into a race with a plan and he sticks to it.
I think he comes in the race with Amber helping out quite a bit with the plan too, which definitely helps.
Amber is an amazing race wife.
All right, so we got some lap traffic coming through the infield here, but on screen we are looking at the number 20, Corey Kaiser there.
Along the ridge line, getting ready to take the hard 180 down into the basin there.
Corey was running in the 6th position, headed out onto the final lap. And here we go. All right, Rob Mack is in with a final time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 17 seconds. So 1:19:17 total time for Rob Mack. And here comes Christopher Polvardi.
He's on the gas. That thing's backfiring out, big flames, throwing massive roost. We can hear it screaming from where we're sitting.
I mean, that's pretty fast. 1 hour and 19 minutes for, what is that, 80-something miles? That's pretty quick.
Almost an average of 70 miles an hour through some of the gnarliest stuff ever.
That's impressive.
Yeah, very, very fast. Laughlin is always a fast race. It's a good one. As soon as Christopher crosses the line, I will let you guys know what his time is at the finish here, and then we will
orange
check on
trailer right there is the timing loop. So he
Perfect.
just crossed it.
All right, as soon as my screen updates here, I will read it to you guys.
Yep, I know Legacy always uses that orange trailer as the timing loop. Looks like the checkered flag is a little bit after it, but he crossed the timing
As soon as mine updates, I'll read it out.
well before then.
There we go. All right, Christopher Polvardi, 1:20, 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 5 seconds. So less than a minute behind. What is that, about 40 seconds just about or so?
Give or take, yep. And we're waiting on our buggy to come through to see if he's going to upset that for the top row.
52 seconds.
Another difference there. So then if we go and look, we'll wait for the Class 1 to
So
finish.
Rob Mack stretched it out just a little bit in the end there.
1:20:13.
1:20:13 for Connor McMullen in the buggy. So 1:20:13.
He's going to start third.
He is going to start third.
So our front row is going to be McGilvery and Polvardi.
He's 8 seconds behind Polvardi on time, so it's going to be truck versus truck. Unlimited truck versus unlimited truck on the front row.
All right, Polvardi accomplished the mission then.
He did.
Getting the side-by-side start with the two-wheel drive. Hopefully he'll probably be thinking of a strategy for that Joker tomorrow. I think some lessons were learned.
Yeah.
And he's got 52 seconds to make up on one of the GOATs of the industry.
He's going to have to go. He's going to have to go, that's for sure.
We're on board with one of our
He's
racers here.
He'll be out there with the tractor flattening the track tonight because it seems to be that you're right. You're exactly right, Robert. As soon as the rougher it gets, the less the advantage of that
Little
four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of coursework tonight. So starting the race tomorrow, they want to let the limited classes in the morning not start out on a fully beat-up course. So Donald and the crew always do an amazing job getting out there, doing some coursework, knocking all the big lips down. So at least the guys in the Class 11 cars and buggies aren't out there getting beat to death in the morning.
Having driven a Class 11 car, I don't know if it'd make it through that Those ruts with those 40-inch tires just digging trenches.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
when they start getting creative in their lines.
it's amazing what the Class 11 cars do, actually. And there is some of them out here. So some of them have to go race tomorrow on this course we're looking at right now. They're in earlier heat in the day, but exactly what you just saw is what they're going to have to go through tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do know some of our guys racing right now, raced in Class 11 this morning. And a lot of the co-drivers and navigators in the trucks right now raced in the heat before. So they had a really good idea what they were going into for the final heat and could kind of coach the drivers on what got more beat up, what didn't.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Makes a big difference.
Some of these guys won't enter a race, early like the sportsman class or a different class just so they can drive a vehicle around it as well.
Yep. Oh, that's
someone's-
Husted stopped in the middle of the course.
Is that his hood off the side?
It certainly
Or
looks
is that
like,
something else? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Certainly looks like he came to an abrupt stop there.
Yeah, that may have been something else, unless that was not his hood on the side.
He is stopped right after road crossing 2, about race mile 11 and a half. That is our ELE Motorsports,
And
our other
hopefully,
all-wheel drive truck.
hopefully we will be getting Rob and Christopher over here for some interviews in a few minutes for you guys. But once again, if you guys have not downloaded that app on the side of your screen there, it is the Racing Redefined app. You have a chance again tomorrow to follow along. So go download that. Go to the App Store, download that app. Thanks to Clarios for the live timing here. Thank you to Method Race Wheels for bringing you this broadcast all weekend long. And we're going to do it again tomorrow. And I see Rob Mack driving by us here. Hopefully he's going to come and park over here. We're going to get an interview for you guys. And that map that you see over there on the side is brought to you by Optima as well, one of the Clarios companies.
So it looks like Husted's in an alternate line. There's an either-or there.
So you could go around at least.
Yep, so they can go around on the left line. Hey, if we stay on board with Adler, we'll get to watch him go past Husted. This is the road crossing. About another 3/4 of a mile right here. There'll be a split. Looks like one of the rescue trucks is running down.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, that is
Husted
scary.
right there.
That was
Oh.
Husted stopped right there. Yep.
His hood is definitely gone, but his hood was off earlier though, wasn't it?
His hood
Now
was
think
earlier.
about it? Yeah.
But I don't know why he would have came to a stop in the center of the course unless that was catastrophic.
It seems like it.
He
Yeah,
knows
right.
better.
Yeah, that's sketchy. 120 miles an hour.
To 0.
That's the fastest part of the entire course right there.
All right, I see Rob Mack. He's getting close to us, so we should have an interview for you guys shortly here. To look at the ORW truck out there, Greg Adler. All right, so still some action going on course. It looks like that's Vanderway there trying to make their way around.
As Rob Mack backs in front of us here.
Once again, if you're just joining us, Rob Mack has finished first today.
No reverse gear.
Oh, yeah.
And I smell transmission fluid.
They're having to push the car back in front of us. I know it's not on screen here, but Rob Mack is currently being pushed backwards. No reverse.
So they might be putting a transmission in this truck before tomorrow.
I mean, he's got plenty of room, honestly, now that the Jumbotron blew over.
Yeah. Yeah, changing a transmission in these things is not that bad, especially the two-wheel drive is a lot easier than the four-wheel drives. So they'll definitely be putting a tranny in there for tomorrow.
I smell it. That truck stinks.
Yeah. He's lucky he was able to make it to the finish there.
We're back watching Vanderway.
Once we have some more finishers here, we're going to bring a couple of them over here and get some interviews for you guys at the finish. And then be sure to tune in again tomorrow. We're going to do the same schedule as today. We will be going live at 3 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow for day 2. We will be watching Rob McCachran or Kevin McGilvray. We got to find out. We got to make sure that we ask him who's driving tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
And then we will find out who's going to be lining up next to Christopher Polvardi tomorrow at 3:30. Will be the official start tomorrow. They will do 6 15-mile laps just like today. And Christopher's going to have to beat him by about 43 seconds or so, maybe 40 seconds. Let's wait and see what the official timing is. But he's going to have to put some time on him tomorrow.
It's going to be a good race tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm
all-wheel
glad.
drive versus two-wheel drive.
I'm glad it's close, and it'll be at least be an exciting race for tomorrow.
young gun versus one of the goats of the sport.
Yeah. All right, so we're just waiting on Rob Mack to get up stage here in a minute, and we will get an interview. Dodge is going to interview him. While we're still watching some finishers out on course there, going across the road jump there.
I feel so bad I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he late entered and isn't on any of the entry lists.
Late entry's fun sometimes because you never know what to expect. And we're going to have to wait until some of these guys finish, too, to actually see what their times are. It's possible that somebody back there could sneak their way up a little bit, but I think it's going to be pretty much the order that we called. All right, it looks like Rob's getting up here on stage. We can see him. Here he comes. We're going to do an interview just in a minute here. Looks like Dodge is getting ready. Rob's going to do his 1,200th interview of his career. Are we ready down there, Dodge? All right, let's go to Dodge with Rob McCackron.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go to Dodge with Rob McCackron.
Mila, I know you go by Mila. Come sit with us. You got a cold water. Yes. These guys are racing the McGilvery truck. You guys just took first at this race. I saw your son here, who's also a very well-known racer in his time. Tell us a little about the course out there.
Yeah, it was torn up. I can tell you that. Just the ruts of the beast. You know, over 1,000 horsepower, 40-inch BF tires were just roosting that track up. I don't know how many trucks we had on the track, but every time I came around the track, the corners got big rollers in them. So we were trying to. Jack. Yeah, Jack was Jack. Yeah, there we go. Is that better?
Yeah, you're good, Rob.
All right.
So go ahead and tell us about your race.
Yeah, no, the race was it was pretty incredible, honestly. You know, we qualified third behind Connor and Jack, and I knew we had to get Connor out of the infield. I knew it was going to be super dusty out there. And if you're in the dust, like there's no passing. So I thought Connor had us, and then on the top end we got out in front of him. And first lap, Jack kind of pulled away, it looked like, and then second lap he was about a mile out of the truck. So I don't know what happened to him. He was out rooting us on the whole time, but just every lap the track kept getting just more and more rutted. Big berms in the corners, and they became like rolling waves. So you really had to time them, and I think that was kind of key because I struggled a little bit probably early until I could get my rhythm in. We were pushing this truck so hard we had some alarms going off. It's just about everything was hot, I think. So Keith, I think he said he hit the reset buttons maybe 100 times or something. So it's like, hey, you got all the controls over there. You got to tell me to shut it down if we're going too much. So anyways, great race. A lot of fun. I love having to push that hard.
Say it's real fun out there, and Mila, you've been co-driving for him for a long time. Tell us about your experience with Rob today.
Well, this is my second race with Rob. We did Parker. The driver-co-driver relationship is very, you have to be simpatico. So I'm still getting what Rob needs. I try and give him as much as I can. Today, like Rob said, we were dealing with some heat issues. It was like barely controlled chaos on my side, and Rob did a lot of it, just by himself, unfortunately. I called what I could, but a lot of radio communication with pits, a lot of, hot weather desert racing stuff. That's what we do.
Yeah, I see that. So I know you guys are top of the box. Kevin McGilvery is absolutely ecstatic with you. I assume he's going to be racing tomorrow, is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like day by day Kevin changes plans and everything, and I agreed to come race. This all started out, he called me in probably January. He said, what are you doing for Baja, Nevada? I said, I don't know, let me look at my calendar. Next thing I know, I'm out testing with ID Designs, Keith and Dave and Jimmy and Wayne, and just working on this truck. And then it turned into, hey, what are you doing for Parker? Let's go do that. And then after Parker, it's like we're doing good in the points, so let's try this one. And we were bringing the spec truck here. Kevin bought another ID truck, and on Monday this week we were bringing that here just to get points. But this unlimited truck was still together, so I think they decided to bring it here that day, and you know, it's got a testament to everybody working on that truck right now. All the parts on there, the BF Goodrich tires, Fox shocks, VP fuel, you know, just everyone that supports this truck and everybody that works on it. It's got a lot of miles on it, I think, and it's still running strong.
Yeah, it's proof that there's a lot in the skill of the driver, a lot in the skill of the team, and even a truck like this one can come out on top of for the day. Now we got some other guys that are coming up behind you, but before we bring them up here, let's have you thank some sponsors, and then we'll let you get back to your team and celebrate your win today.
Yeah, like I said, really, Kevin McGilvery for having me. We've known each other probably 40 years. We used to race against each other in Class 10 a really long time ago. So it was a pleasure to race with him and the All-Legacy family. We're kind of under one big tent. The guys at ID Design, Keith, Dave Peralt, Jimmy just do an awesome job on the truck, just working their butts off till all hours of the night to get this thing in the winner's circle or, you know, have good finishes. So I really want to thank them. And again, BF Goodrich Tires, I've been with them since 1991, got a lot of wins together in Fox shocks. But really, really good stuff. I mean, can't be more thankful enough that I'm still doing this. I've been over 40 years and I still doing it. And more than anything, I can run with the young kids. So it's good stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I race myself and definitely look up to you. Thank you for coming up and thank you for racing, Mila. Good to meet you. You guys go celebrate with Kevin, go celebrate with your teams, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're going to try to get Christopher up here sitting with me. He's just climbing out of his truck. Christopher took second today, and you know, I'm absolutely ecstatic. Christopher is a good friend of mine. We spent a lot of time together. He moved to Utah, which is where I'm from, and there's not a lot of trophy truck teams in Utah, and so it's always fun to have a little bit of friendly competition and you know, friendly camaraderie. So him and his co-driver Mike Kim are going to be coming up here and joining us just any minute.
He's going to be second place today. Rob Mack was in with a 1:19.17, and Christopher was in with a 1:20.05. So less than a minute between these guys, and I think we're ready. Christopher just got a drink of water. Let's go, Dodge. Let's hear from Christopher.
It's cool. You know, we know we had a race tomorrow, so we were like, we were pushing real hard, and then we got kind of stuck in the lappers. And we're like, all right, maybe we should just calm down, not crash this truck. Had a couple close calls. I was a little on edge in the beginning.
Yeah, I was actually down in the starting line. We saw you get on two wheels twice really early on. Mike, as a co-driver, what's it like when your driver's getting a little out of hand that early into the race?
Honestly, we've been racing together for a while now, and it's, you know, it's beginning of the race is a little hectic, and so it's no big deal. I knew he had it.
Oh, that's good. It's great to have that much trust in your driver. Now, I know you guys got up early this morning, 6:30. Everybody went out for a sight lap. You know, what was the track like, you know, then in comparison to maybe that last sixth lap of the day?
Oh, it's a whole different track. There was holes everywhere, rocks everywhere, cars everywhere. But yeah, this morning was my first time ever around Laughlin, so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, pretty fast, graded roads. Not anymore. There's like holes just going down the graded roads. You're like, how'd this come here? But it was pretty fun. It was a cool course. It's intense, like the dust and like the rocks. Like you're in like a pretty, like it flows, but there also like is no flow. So you're kind of just like the whole time.
Yeah, it's a lot of forcing it out there. Now, there's a lot of straightaways. You had that big highway jump. Let's talk about your top speeds from today. You know, I know there's a couple really, really big ones. You know, what do you think the fastest you got? Maybe Mike Kim would know best because he was looking at the GPS.
Yeah, it was about 125 after the second road crossing.
So that's some pretty crazy speeds, especially in a four-wheel drive truck. It's harder for those trucks to get up to those even just higher numbers, right? What's your game plan for tomorrow, you know, going into a race, starting behind somebody like Kevin and Rob?
I'm excited. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to set us up right where we want to be. That's what the last couple laps I was like, hey, let's plan for tomorrow. Let's focus on that, and I think we set ourselves up good, and I'm excited to go play with Rob. It's always fun racing with Rob.
Yeah, Rob's a good guy. He's a really great competitor, really great sport, obviously. You know, he's very gracious, humble, and overall great guy. So I'm excited to watch you guys go out there and race one with another. We'll let you guys get back to your crew and party here in a second. Let's let you thank some sponsors, and then you can celebrate your podium for the day.
Oh yeah, huge shout out to Optima Batteries, Toyo Tires, Fox Shocks. I mean, that live valve really was playing a key. Method Race Wheels, Borla, Ford Performance. This Raptor's always a great time. VP Racing Fuels, K&N, FK Rod Ends, and my boys over at Decked and Rigid. So, fun time.
Well, there you go. We'll let you guys get back to celebrate. I know we're doing a bunch of stuff here. If you're actually here in Laughlin, we're doing tacos tonight. We're watching some other racing, so feel free to come by and party it up with us. We're going to pass it back to the booth here for a couple minutes while we get third place truck up here sitting with us on the couch.
All right, well, there you go. That is your first 2 trucks there. We had Rob Mack that we heard there, and then we had Christopher Polvardi that just finished second there. Next, we're going to have Scott Scovassa is going to be making his way up here. So he's going to be third, but we're going to have to wait on time because Eric, on this, the timing that we're showing on the screen right there is within 7 seconds, but that wasn't at the finish. So
no,
the official
Eric
finish.
DNF'd. Eric lost fuel, and that was a truck sitting in the middle of the course.
Perfect. So don't pay attention to that one there.
I think he did cross just in time, but it happened right there for that finish.
Okay. Yeah, on the legacy timing here that we have, we're showing it Scott in third, and they're making their way up right now. So we're going to have our third place interview for you guys in just a second here, making their way over to the couch.
Yep, Eric's navigator actually texted me they had a fuel issue. That's what took them out of the race.
Okay, so they did not finish.
No.
That makes sense because they're not showing on our legacy timing here.
Fuel issue of some kind.
All right, so we're just getting ready to go, and we're going to throw it down to Dodge with third place.
All righty, guys. More people on the couch. Tell us who you are real quick. Introduce yourselves, and then we'll talk a little bit about your race.
Scott Scavassa, driver of the Unlimited 45 from Houston.
All right, we will be right back. We will finish the interview in a second.
Little bit of technical difficulties, but we'll get them figured out.
You can see there's a good look at the Optimum Oasis here.
We're hiding in there in that one, little dark from this angle, but
yeah, you can't see us in there. What's going on there?
Get
They're trying to
that
block us
shot
out.
in closer, guys.
Yeah, no,
Where's
we'll be back in just a minute. As we're waiting for our third place interview to come back here on the podium here. That's a look at your top 3 from left to right there. You have Rob Mack driving the Kevin McGillivray one. We got Christopher Polvardi in the middle there in second place, and then on the right there we have Scott Scovassa is going to be your third place finisher.
Good to see Scott back out racing. They were taking a break for a little bit. Good to see him back with the Legacy Racing Series. Doing good.
Yeah.
We're working through a little bit of technical difficulties here.
But yeah, tune back in again tomorrow. We do know that. So tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we are going to be going back live for day 2 action here. Hold on one second here, and we're going to get these guys over here. Yeah, we'll just throw them on our mics over here, and we'll do the interview here with them real quick. And I'm going to hand it over to Scott. Hang on one second.
All right, we're headsetted up. Looks like our mics are having a little bit of issues. So, tell us real quick who you are, where you're from, and how your race was.
Scott Scavassa, driver of the Unlimited 45. I'm from Houston, Texas, and had a good day.
Yeah, sounds like the bumps out there were unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, we launched that truck a couple times, and I was like, it's either going to be good or it's going to be bad, because it was like blind into the dust.
So, you have a couple times where you puckered a little too hard or get pretty scared out there?
Only once. We hit the road jump at about 110, and we hit it pretty fast, and we went like this, and we landed in the bushes, but we kept going. So
oh my gosh, balls of steel! I love it. Incredible. You guys got some sweet sponsors on your truck. Why don't you tell us about them?
Our main sponsors is Curtis Dump Truck and Excavation. They're my prep guys. They're the main reason that I get to come do all this. Junior is my driver of the 6100 truck, and my everything guy. He preps the truck. They cook all the food. They haul the trucks to wherever we're going. It's like everything. And this is his right arm right here. When it comes to taking care of the trucks.
Well, you guys seem like got a lot of family, a lot of friends, a lot of fans out here in the crowd. We're gonna let you guys get back to them and celebrate today, but more racing tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
right. So
oh,
what's
yeah.
your plan?
Hey, it ain't over. It's you can't. Tomorrow will be twice as rough.
All right. Well, good luck tomorrow. We're excited to have you guys back on the race course, but go celebrate your podium.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. That was our third place finish. Now we are going to wrap up our coverage of day one in just a minute here. So big thank you to Tanner and to
Thank you,
Robert
guys.
for driving today. For driving the show with me here.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. 2.5 hours never seems so long. Is that you?
I know,
Are you
right?
exhausted?
No,
Come on.
no, this is nothing. No, the Baja 1000 is 2 days. So
Now, I don't get to do this tomorrow. I'm actually on my way out of here, but have fun. I will be following on the app, and it's amazing what you could tell on the app. It would be nice to be able to see some of the out-of-class vehicles and see how they're interrupting with the dust factor and whatnot, but really is incredible how you can follow along with the app, so I'll be doing that tomorrow from a car commercial, so I guess day job.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was cool, and it's all just technology that's being used for the first time here, so it's just going to get better and better. Everything worked pretty well today. We'll make a few tweaks for some things tomorrow, and we're going to do it all again.
Yes,
so,
sir.
You got anything else, Robert?
That's all I got. It was an awesome day of racing.
All
Be
right.
back tomorrow at about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, tune back in tomorrow, everybody. We will be live once again at 3 o'clock tomorrow. The Unlimited trucks will be starting at 3:30, and we're going to have a battle. We got less than a minute between the first and second. We got third place not too far behind them. Let's see who can do it tomorrow. So come back at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and we will see you guys then.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm outie for real now. Hey, thank
Way
you
to
very
go,
much.
boys.
Good job. Good job.
That was
Nice
great.
job, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said